Well, good morning. And it's Friday going into Boilermaker weekend 2023.
Hard to believe.
This is a recording from last year. No, here we are in the 2024 Boilermaker. And it's Friday, and I don't know, clouds most of the day today, but we're going to warm up back into the 80s. 88 degrees for Sunday.
It's going to be warm.
It is going to be a warm Sunday, so be ready for that. And right around race time, I don't know, 71 maybe, right around race time.
It's important, if you haven't already, you should have been hydrating all week starting on Sunday or Monday, but get your water in, runners.
You start that early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got to be, and you also should be, when you're training, you should be, I'm not some big runner, but I've trained several times for this race. And run it a few times. You should be when you're training, you should be drinking, because it is something that when you're exhausted and you're running and you try to drink water, it's not the easiest thing to do.
No, right. So you're saying you have to train actually drinking the water.
The physical action of drinking water while running is something to be learned, I believe. Anyway, most people who are running, they know what I just see people out there running this morning. They're all over the place running.
They're ready to go.
Everybody's running. Man,
I do not envy them.
Can I just say to you, I do not envy you and Davey. I mean, you can't even win in a minor league park.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
What is
I knew
going
that
on?
you would enjoy this thoroughly. Yeah,
I don't enjoy. I just did go back and find from May 26th. I found this tape. Listen. I'm telling you, the Mets are not a terrible team. This team could come back. Let's see where we are at the All-Star break.
Wow, that was your
May.
comments. Yeah.
That was from May. It's amazing how quality the studio is. It's able to, it sounds live. It sounds live.
Here's a clip from right after the Dodgers series.
That's when the mics went out, I remember. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I knew
they're just a mess. And you know what? This All-Star break couldn't come soon enough. Of course, we have to play the Orioles going into it. But, I don't know, I'll continue to call for the head, professionally, not literally, of Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone. The players have no respect for Boone.
All right.
And
here's
news.
Here's what I love about most fans and Yankee fans in particular. If the Yankees go on a streak and all of a sudden, make a run, you'll forget all about this. You will.
Because I was the only one who was critical of.
I think there were
important things when they were winning.
Okay.
I'll go back to a Facebook post I posted around that time of the Dodgers series.
All you have to do is just go back here on March 20th. Andrew was complaining preseason they lost the game.
Exactly.
You were complaining. Mike, I know it's somewhat gross, but prior to the race, you should be making sure that if you urinate, it should be clear and not yellow.
Yep.
If it's yellow, it means you've not had enough water in you.
That's an excellent point, and that's with everything hydration-wise.
Yeah, that's true.
You also want to make sure that you go both forms of the bathroom before the race. And if you don't take
both forms,
yes,
right.
And take an Imodium. That's my running tip.
What does Imodium AD do?
It's anti-diuretic.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, get ready for
I am not a doctor,
the walk
by the way.
tomorrow. Don't listen to Andrew. A walk tomorrow. The kids' run is tomorrow. The expo gets underway today. And fun. It's Boilermaker weekend. Of course, 5K on Friday, on Sunday, and then, of course, the big race, the wheelchair race, and then the 15K.
So with the wheelchair race, something that the Citron Rehab does every year, Mark DiPerno and his adaptive sports program, they offer the opportunity for somebody to compete in the Boilermaker Wheelchair Challenge, which will allow them to compete, and if they can finish the Boilermaker 15K in a regular wheelchair in 2 hours and 15 minutes, they will be given, which is a $5,000 piece of equipment, they will be given a racing wheelchair, and this year's competitor is Face Wallace. And his story is kind of unique and interesting in that he was a runner. He was a marathon runner. He and his wife started running together when she challenged him to do a 5-mile race. And so that kind of led to them bonding over running even further. And he was doing marathons until one day he woke up and had no feeling in his feet and legs and lower body, and he ended up being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So
it's amazing. I saw him speak yesterday, and he was a runner, and then diagnosed with MS.
Yeah.
So
quickly that passion of his was taken away, but it fueled him to this.
He was told he would never run again.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's running the race in the wheelchair division. So. It really was inspiring. And I just, I feel like because I won an award yesterday. It's the Ed Bradley Award.
Yes, which congratulations, by the way. I would have rather have been there in hindsight.
Listen to me. I just there he is right there, as a matter of fact. I just so angrily hate the fact that I just freaking right now can't get through a freaking conversation, a statement without becoming emotional. It's just brutal when I went up there. It's like, man, you talk for a living. You can't talk. You can't freaking talk without getting choked up. It's just ridiculous. I'm such an idiot. Trust me.
No, come on.
No, it was terrible. I mean, it wasn't as bad as that. I mean, it's not like I gushed or anything, but I just, you just struggle with everything going on. And I feel like such an idiot.
No, you shouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. Terrible. Anyway, it is what it is, and I got through it, but I have to say we'll talk more about Ed Bradley, who the award is named after, which, is there somebody in there answering those phones? No, Davey's not. We'll talk more, Andrew, about Ed Bradley, which I want to do, and Dr. Bradley actually gave the award and spoke about Real Men Get Tested, which was just awesome and wonderful. But I want to talk about Ed Bradley and who he was. The reason for these awards, I do believe why it's so important, is obviously you try to inspire people to carry on the same tradition as the person that the award is named after. And they do great things. And as Andrew says, each year giving out a race wheelchair. I do not know what it's like, to be honest with you, but I can tell you that I've seen people run this race am I saying it properly when I say run the race when it comes to wheelchair?
I'm not
Probably
sure.
not.
Participate in the
Well,
event.
it is what it is in it. But seeing them in a regular wheelchair versus a racing wheelchair, it is so hard.
Yeah.
And I remember watching one participant finish, and he was in a regular daily wheelchair, and he finished. It was a long time, but he's stinking finished. Anyway, I feel like these awards are to carry on the tradition of the good that has been done. And I did say I don't feel like I'm worthy by any means. But it's also very important to remember who it is named after.
Yeah.
Like the Leo J. the salmon. That's something down in the valley. What's the cross country race? That's
the E.J. Herman.
The E.J. Herman. I'm thinking Leo J. Salmon Wrestling Tournament in Ilion. Again, who is that person named after? You should ask. Stop and say, who is E.J. Herman? Why is the race named after him? I do think that is extremely important.
Indeed.
And who is Ed Bradley? Who was Ed Bradley, and why is the name named after him? And we'll talk about that later on. I think that is extremely important. Okay? And I'm a mess.
You're going to be fine.
Just a mess. It's just terrible. And it is Friday, and I skipped a dosage, by the way.
Oh, boy.
I'll take it later on today. I'm trying to climb back into
the
area
5:30
where I
p.m.
can take it around 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Let me go off this topic and talk to Tanya J. Powers. Biden. I have some audio that John Decker sent me. At one point, he introduced Zelensky as President Putin.
Yeah, so I did. So
he caught it. I will say that he caught it. To be fair, he caught it. And then another time, he talked about Kamala Harris and referred to her as Vice President Trump. And I'm just saying to you that we're in a situation where every gaffe, and he's known for his gaffes, everything that comes out of his mouth that is incorrect is going to be
heightenedly
magnified.
Yeah,
and
heightened
I hate to say it should be. So let me go to Tanya Powers, who's on the line right now. Tanya, Hollywood turning against Joe Biden at this point. When Clooney comes out, people apparently listen. Good morning. Do I have her on the? I must have lost her and then got her back. Here she is. Hi, Tanya. Good morning.
Hi. I could hear you. I couldn't hear you guys after you put me on the air, so sorry about that.
All right. No. It's
all right.
my. Are you not able to hear on hold when you're sitting there on hold? Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you then.
All
and
right,
as soon as you click it over, I can't hear anything.
That
And
is
I've
the
only got a
weirdest.
couple minutes left, so like 1.5.
I know,
So,
I'm sorry.
sorry about that.
I'm such a long-winded person. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead. George Clooney.
Yes, George Clooney, the president, losing some support in Hollywood after George Clooney's essay came out of the New York Times. His is not the only one. Obviously, there have been other celebrities. Rob Reiner, a huge supporter of Democratic politics, and has made no secret of his politics in recent years, especially. He had already said at the beginning of the week there was a social media post he had made. Saying that, basically love the guy. He's had, decades of public service and we appreciate what he's done, but it's time to step aside. Stephen King also, coming out and kind of echoing Rob Reiner's tweet in his social media post. Michael Douglas is also one that seems to come out and sort of after Clooney's, essay was published, said sort of, around the same sort of thing. Yeah, I think his essay has sort of not emboldened, but maybe made it okay for other celebrities to go, yeah, we agree with you. He's been a great president, but it's time for him to step aside.
Yeah.
Probably see more of these in the days to come. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Well, and before I let you go, it's the gaffes, right? It's the calling Zelensky Putin and Kamala Harris Trump. It's those little things that make people say, oh boy, he's, and maybe I don't know if you've ever been in a situation, and I'm sure you have, Tanya, where you don't want to do something, you want to be perfect, and there's a scrutiny, and everybody's looking at you. You become even more nervous. So expect more gaffes to come, I'm afraid. But people are watching, and they're watching closely.
They are. They're watching closely. You're right.
Please move on to someone less long-winded. Okay.
Y'all have a good weekend. I'll talk
You do the same. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
Tanya
Bye-bye.
J. Powers from Fox News Radio. We love her. But yeah, are you kidding?
I didn't get to. I really wanted to watch the whole thing, and
At least he caught the Putin thing. He's on the world stage. And he started to walk away from the podium. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah,
but he came back
I
and
saw
said,
the
wait,
clip.
whoa. Hold on, man. Did I just say, I said Putin. I meant he's going to beat Putin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like the last person you want to
I know.
misintroduce. Hey,
I was
leader of the
once-
nation that's attacked by the guy I just introduced you as.
I once had a wedding down near Oneonta, down where one of those where they have the Cooperstown baseball camp and all that. There used to be a wedding venue down there. And they're like, listen, I hate my stepmom. I'm sorry, but please do not announce her. And what did I do? The sheet had it. I just read it. Why would it be on there? It was almost like somebody was sabotaging.
Yeah.
But I read it, and everybody was just fuming over it. Because I knew I wasn't supposed to say it, and for some reason I just read it, and oh my God, I'm so sorry. Now I brought attention to it.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say there's any comparison at all, but there's a tiny little one. I'm thinking that Biden now has to be going out thinking, okay, looking at himself in the mirror, like, all right, first of all, you can't sound like this.
Yeah.
You got to get tough.
There was also
you got to get tough.
So I went back to try to watch.
And then
the whole
he's got
thing.
it. And then in his mind, he has to be saying, you can't make a mistake. You can't call Zelensky Putin.
Yeah.
You can't call Vice President Kamala Harris Vice President Trump. These are things you can't do. Now, don't do it. Get out there and do your best. And then what does he do? He goes out there and there's all this pressure. And I'm not saying that that's what's causing this stuff. I'm just saying that heightened attention ain't going to help.
It's not going to go away.
And no. Yesterday this is deja vu every day. We say the same thing. Well, yesterday didn't help President Biden.
Yeah.
And you can say it again this morning. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I went back and I tried to watch I guess the whole thing was about 59 minutes, so just under an hour. So I tried to watch it after I got home last night, and I was way too tired. But I started to watch. I mean, his speech kind of, and some of the answers to the question, it wasn't as bad as the debate, but it still had some of the mannerisms of, just struggle. Just overall struggle to speak and answer questions.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And I feel bad for the man. I do. I feel bad as a human.
Well, I do feel, too, that, we should be sympathetic to those people who have gotten older and are losing their ability to freaking speak in front of somebody without choking up.
As the president.
Sorry.
I want him to stay in, truthfully.
Trust me, I'm a young whippersnap compared to the oldest president in U.S. history. Nonetheless, though, I think that we should feel bad.
Yeah.
And I know there are a lot of haters that will never feel bad. They hate him. I get that. I'm not a supporter of Joe Biden. I think he was always in second place. That's why he became vice president. He ran for president more than once, never won until he finally did. And even then, I felt it was more of an anti-Trump vote than it was a pro-Biden vote.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, you got to be thinking about your grandfather. When your grandfather gets older, or when your parents get older, or when you get older, or when there's a person driving down the road and that freaking left blinker is still on. Come on, man.
Give up the license.
Come on. It's hard to say that to somebody. It is, and it's going to happen to every one of us. Although I know plenty of people who are as sharp as can be right until their last day on this planet. So, but here you feel like and not to mention, this is the person that is leading the credibility of the nation to the world. That's pretty scary. But this is enough is enough, I would think. And I don't know how somebody actually brought up the idea. I can't even believe I saw this on the news. Maybe I was dreaming it. Could have been right after I took my pills. I think somebody threw out the idea that Biden become vice president on the ticket and Kamala Harris become president, and they run the ticket that way. Are you kidding me?
Wow, talk about a do-nothing position.
Now, here is
it would reiterate the significance of the vice president.
Here is this insignificance of the president when you think about it.
Yeah.
Well, we can just reverse roles. That was thrown out. I'm assuming after it was thrown out there, it was thrown out.
Yeah, right, literally.
Because I'm not hearing anything about it today, but that is just the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life. So it's just terrible. It is just a mess.
It's exactly that.
Coming up, we're going to speak with Tanya J. Powers. No, I'm sorry, with Willie Waffle in a few minutes. We'll talk about the movies for the weekend. You'll see I'll read anything on the paper. Senator Joe Griffo was in this morning. Man,
like the stepmother's name.
I don't know if you've been seeing the fighter jets flying over. Have you been seeing them?
Oh, doing practice runs? I have not.
They've been flying over.
I have to pay extra close attention.
I'm told between the Black Hawks and the fighter jets, Army and Air Force, you're going to see a lot of that activity this weekend.
Nice.
Because I think they may be running, I don't know, training missions or something here out of Griffo, which allows them to be here. I don't know. We'll get the word from Senator Griffo. But this is big, and it's going to be an amazing flyover. Our guy who won the national anthem singing contest.
Yes. Cameron Stewart
is going to have quite a responsibility as he's singing perfectly in time And as he finishes the national anthem on Sunday morning, there will be a flyover of fighter jets and more, and Black Hawk helicopters, and then some. This is going to be a very unprecedented event.
I love it.
I love it too.
So
Griffo, Senator Griffo will be in to talk about that later on. Hobica's free money question of the day today, by the way, Davey. What are you thinking today? 500. Oh, $500.
Wow, so he's tired in his voice.
We're going again with 500. I sound like Biden. $500. Yes.
Our contestant's going to be Vladimir Putin.
That's right. Thank you.
It's really Zelensky.
Okay. All right, that's good, Davey. That was good. Man.
Vice President Trump.
Okay.
I mean Harris.
Okay, there you go.
He's also from Brooklyn now.
This is our new Davey is now our new Joe Biden impressionist. That's really, really good. I love it.
That's pretty good, Davey.
Joe Biden could probably do a better job than managing the Yankees than Aaron Boone does.
Okay.
There's a new job.
All of a sudden, Biden looks pretty good.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. County Executive Anthony Pacini is in. I saw him last night as well. He always is the best dressed person in the room. I'm telling you. I said to him, I hope you wear that sport coat tomorrow morning. He said, you don't think I would wear a sport coat twice in 2 days, do you? 2 days in a row.
Oh, yeah. Don't mess with the fashion with that man.
Scott Flansburgh and what's going on with the Herkimer OGs. They're going to be playing in that tournament, basketball tournament. And we'll get into that. Hobica's free money question of the day. $500. Another shot for Boilermaker Week.
I love it.
It's kind of a little of a special thing. Let me go to the man with a plan, the one and only Willie Waffle.
Willie Waffle. And I've been into that lately.
How you guys doing?
Wonderful.
Terrible. We're all right. We're all right.
We have on the line right now Vladimir Putin. I mean, Vice President Trump. I mean, Willie Waffle.
So Vlad, tell me.
Yes.
So I got to tell you, if we can start out, I've had more people come up, friends, that I have said you have to watch The Bear, and more people say, I think it's jumped the shark. I think The Bear this season was terrible. And it was I want your take on it. It was completely, you watched seasons 1 and 2, right?
Yo, absolutely. I've seen it since the beginning.
Okay.
I'm full in on The Bear.
So I want your take, and because the first maybe 3 episodes were completely unique. They were fast-paced. They were just out of the normal style, I think, of The Bear. I'd like your opinion, and then I'll give you my wife, because I had somebody, a good friend, just the other day say, I couldn't believe how bad it was. I hated it. I read another review that said it's the worst TV show on TV right now.
Wow.
I can't believe that. What was your take on this season's The Bear?
Well, I think it was more of a season for hardcore fans. The first episode, for my money, is brilliant. The whole idea that we are literally going through time with Carmi, and we're seeing all the things, all the events, all the incidents, everything that's happened in his life that has led to this season and this moment. And it explains why he is who he is, the pain that he feels. It explains his actions through this season and how misguided they are and why he thinks this is what he has to do. There are episodes I think that stand out for the season. I love the Forks episode where Tita is looking for a job. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. I think the last episode was very, very good. I think there are little nuggets of hints of what's going to happen in the next season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's so frustrating to people, that it just really feels a little bit more like a filler season. Like, we're going to see some stuff, but the big stuff's going to happen next season. And we already know that they basically filmed season 4 already. So I think that interrupted the storytelling. I think that interrupted the storytelling. I think people wanted more stuff to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is more of an inward, more of a character type examination as we see, we see what Sydney's going through. It will explain decisions that she makes in the next season. We see what Carmi's going through. It will explain decisions he makes in the next season. That kind of stuff. Richie, we see what he's going through. We see his growth. It will probably mean more next season. So I think that's what's frustrating to people.
What I thought was and I hope I don't say too much, spoiler alert. First of all, do not watch The Bear without watching season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You can't watch season 3. Now, I told you that I would give you my impression, my wife's impression. There were moments in the beginning that we were like, what? This is a completely different program. But I felt like seasons 1, 2, and 3, episodes 1, to sound like Biden. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 were different. And then it kind of got back to more traditional. And the other thing is these are very short episodes. These are like 28 minutes long. You could easily watch 2 or 3 episodes, and that would make for a better experience, depending on how you watch it all. But I got to say, I felt every time I watched an episode, I wanted to watch the next episode. And that's a major accomplishment. I do think the final episode was incredible. Right up until the very end, I'm like, I can't believe you just did that to me. It's still a great series. I cannot wait for the next season.
Oh no, I agree, and I think listen, I think they leaned a little too much on the Fack family, for comedy.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's any surprise at this point. John Cena makes a guest appearance as a member of that family, and I don't know. I mean, he's very funny, but he just didn't feel like he was the right person to be cast for that role. So I think that hurt. But hey, you give me more Oliver Platt, and I'm a happy man. Okay, because he's fantastic in everything he does.
Which one is who is the one who's the loud chef with all the tattoos? The one who's a mess. He's not a chef. He's he's like the guy who comes in and does the plumbing and the heavy.
That's one of the facts. Yeah.
He's a real chef. Have you ever seen his stuff on YouTube?
I've seen he's got something. Yeah, like he had a show on Vice Network or something.
Yeah, he is a real chef who is a very great chef and is like the worst speaker, and every other word is the F word when you watch it. You got to look up his episodes. I'll try to find his name and get that out there. Okay, what else do we have to get into? Oh, by the way, I really felt that it was so interesting to watch, and watching The Bear, the contrast from when all the chefs get together because the other restaurant is closing. How calm it was with the flashbacks. How calm they were in working with the bear and teaching him. And then you had the contrast of the guy who was terrible to him, and they had their own confrontation. I don't want to give up too much. But then when you look at that contrast with his life, which was so chaotic, this is such a complex character and storyline. It's really so well done, I feel.
I think that the big lesson that's going to come out of this season is going to be for Carmi, and it's going to be that he is going down the wrong path. His obsessions and the way he is conducting himself are not the path to happiness and success. And that revelation, I think, will make season 4 the one we want to see.
Are you saying they're just going to go back to selling steak sandwiches?
I don't know if they're going to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to do that, but I think he's going to realize that he's being a jerk.
Yeah,
he's
it's
being
terrible.
a horrible person. He's being the person that he hates the most in the world.
Yes, everything he hates, he's become. Yeah, I think it's really, it is it's really well written. Okay, Fly Me to the Moon. And I just feel like this movie is going to fuel all these people that don't think we ever landed on the moon. We're faking it,
that's,
The Earth is flat.
That's my upset thing too. I mean, this could be just a cute little rom-com kind of movie. You got Scarlett Johansson as this like marketing exec, and she's working with NASA, and the rep for NASA is Channing Tatum. And because they're both beautiful, sparks are going to fly.
Yep.
They're going to fall for each other as they're trying to find a way to promote the Apollo 11 moon landing. And there is a little bit of a real story behind this. The little bit of the real story behind this is that, yes, NASA was working very hard to promote the moon landing and to convince the networks to carry it live. Like, that wasn't a sure thing, believe it or not. So, there is a kernel of truth there. If they stuck to just that rom-com, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum and her have great chemistry, and there's some funny lines here and there, and it's passable. But I'm with you. There's a whole other subplot in this movie, which, by the way, is over 2 hours. And the reason it's over 2 hours is because of this stupid subplot.
Yeah.
The idea that they have to film a fake version of the moon landing in order to have the footage in case they need it. And I'm like, I'm with you. Like, come on. Like, first of all, that movie was done a long time ago with O.J. Simpson. We don't need to go back there.
Yeah.
I don't think it adds anything of interest to this movie. I don't think it adds a lot of comedy. I don't think it adds a lot to the story. I think that they could have worked harder to develop what they had. I feel like you get like three halves of movies, that were kind of smushed together.
I'm fearing that, and I really like her, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
I like her. I think she's really beautiful and great actress and all that stuff. But this whole theory that they're faking it just angers me, because now I know in 2 months I'm going to start getting people calling up and saying, we never landed on the moon.
It's flat.
The Earth is flat. It's like a giant flat flying saucer. What do you give Fly Me to the Moon?
Yeah, I'm at 1.5 waffles. It's not that great. Yeah.
How about Long Legs in theaters? What is this?
This is a really good horror movie. And this is something you might want to check out. So it's set in the 1990s, and there's this elusive serial killer who's being chased around Oregon by the FBI. And he's been doing this for years. And they've brought in this new rookie investigator played by Micah Monroe. And she seems to have some sort of intuition that's helping her solve this case. And the strange thing about the case is that at each one of these murder scenes, there's no signs of break-in. There's no DNA. The weapons that were used were all already inside the house. And there was just cryptic messages left signed by Longlegs. And Longlegs, my ladies and gentlemen, is played by, and this is not a surprise, they've already released it, Nicolas Cage.
Dun, 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 dun.
Wow.
And Nicolas Cage is so stinking creepy in this movie. This is so perfect. He's kind of this weird, kind of uncomfortable guy. He's underneath kind of this prosthetic makeup. He has this creepy, weird kind of sing-song voice that gets under your skin. And he is just marvelous. And I think it's a movie about the atmosphere and about, kind of the tensions and the feelings that are going on. You're going to question, I think, a lot of the plot twists. I think some of that stuff is a little bit ridiculous. But for just a good movie that's got you on the edge of your seat, this is 3.5 waffles.
Wow. And this is in theaters right now.
Yeah, this is in theaters right now. It's called
maybe we'll go to see
Longlegs.
a movie for a change. Nicolas Cage has a very interesting reputation. I've seen a documentary on him where obviously he has this obsession with Elvis. He's a little messed up, it seems. He also is a very giving person. Every penny he makes, he seems to spend that and then more on friends and family and events and parties and cars. And he just becomes so broke, he has to do every movie role that comes by him. And he ends up doing a lot of garbage movies. Is that true? And this certainly seems to break that mold.
Well, he's very eccentric. I mean, I think that's the polite word for it.
Okay.
And you have to remember, he had a really bad financial manager that got him in a lot of deep trouble with the IRS. And he owed the IRS millions upon millions of dollars. And he just stepped up. He said, my manager screwed this up. I owe this money. And he started going off and making every movie he could to pay that bill off.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Is paid. Yeah, that's paid off now. So now he does stuff that he's interested in. Stuff that's kind of quirky. And that's what this, like Longlegs, I don't think you get Nicolas Cage unless Nicolas Cage just is really into horror movies and can see the potential here. And he does that. He does that movie that came out in the fall, Dreamscape, where he plays this guy who shows up in people's dreams, and it has a positive and very negative effect on his life. I mean, he's able to go after interesting things because he's got the talent and he makes enough money to be happy.
You give this 3.5 waffles.
I'll give it 3.5 waffles, man.
I like it. Well, listen, enjoyed the weekend, Willie. We thank you as always, and I might go see this movie. I think I might go see it.
It's worth it. I'm telling you. Give it a shot.
And then I might watch The Bear Over. I think I missed a lot of stuff. All right, enjoy the weekend, Willie. Thank you.
All right, see you next weekend.
Okay, Willie Waffle. I think I will go see that.
It's definitely something I'd be interested in seeing. Yeah.
Coming up, we'll speak with Senator Joe Griffo on the flyover. $500 free money chance coming up at WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
One's a prosecutor, one's a felon. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. After calling Vice President Harris Vice President Trump at a news conference yesterday, President Biden says on social media he does know the difference. His performance otherwise is largely being described as fine. There were substantive answers about foreign policy. 18 Democrats in Congress, though, now say publicly the president should drop out of the race.
Using a press conference at the end of a NATO summit to dig into foreign policy and domestic accomplishments, President Biden said he is still the most qualified candidate to beat former President Trump.
I'm not in this for my legacy. I'm in this to complete the job I started.
The president also telling reporters Democrats in office concerned about the top of the tickets is not unusual.
And I might add, there are at least 5 presidents running or incumbent presidents who had lower numbers than I have now, later in the campaign. So there's a long way to go.
In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
President Biden campaigns in Michigan today. At least 2 deaths are reported in flooding in Vermont. More than 24 heat deaths are reported this week in Arizona, California, and Oregon.
Record-breaking heat continues to be dangerous for much of the West today and tomorrow. Things will settle down a little bit for this region, but expand over the Central Plains and Southeast over the next few days. With 1 million people still without power over Southeast Texas, the heat and humidity is making things worse.
Fox senior meteorologist Janice Dean. At least 1 person is dead, 2 missing in a tourist helicopter crash off the Hawaiian island of Kauai. Hikers reported seeing the helicopter go into the water. A landslide in Nepal sweeps 2 passenger buses into a flooded river with at least 60 people on board. At least 3 survivors swam to safety, but the buses and everybody else last we've heard are still missing. Rain and more landslides are making search and rescue efforts difficult. America's listening to Fox News.
Jerry Padgett, the second enlisted in the U.S. Navy and deployed multiple times to Iraq and Afghanistan until Jerry was catastrophically injured in an improvised explosive device blast. Now, Jerry received a new smart home thanks to our friends at the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Now, the home is in the foundation's Let Us Do Good Village. It's in Florida, and Jerry now lives more independently thanks to the specially adaptive technologies. Commit to $11 a month, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
A bipartisan bill introduced in the Senate would ban members of Congress from buying stocks.
It would also ban spouses and dependent children from doing so starting in 2027. Virginia Democratic Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger and Texas Republican Chip Roy have pushed a House bill backed by over 70 other members that would ban lawmakers from trading stocks. Spanberger says support for a ban is at an all-time high and momentum continues to grow.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. A relatively close call in the air near an airport in Syracuse, New York.
The incident is under investigation. The near collision happened when the air traffic controller at the Syracuse Hancock Airport apparently gave a Delta and American Eagle flight instructions to use the same runway, causing them to come so close. Air traffic sound seems to confirm the confusion that could have resulted in a much more catastrophic outcome. The FAA is not calling it a close call, and some experts are reportedly saying the flights were not truly on a collision course, although there was a time they were flying about 700 feet apart.
Fox's Matt Finn. It's not new John Lennon music, but different versions and some extras come out today.
John Lennon recorded his album Mind Games in 1973, and today it's being reissued with new mixes, outtakes, studio session chatter, and more.
All I had to do was call.
The album is notable because it was Lennon's fourth solo studio album and the first one he produced without help from Phil Spector. The reissue was overseen by Lennon's widow, Yoko Ono, along with their son, Sean Ono Lennon. Mind Games, the ultimate collection, is available in multiple formats, including box sets, vinyl, CD, and Blu-ray. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Baseball, the Phillies complete a 3-game sweep of the Dodgers. Pirates star rookie pitcher Paul Skeens throws 7 no-hit innings in a 1-0 win over the Brewers. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time. 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. We have cloudy skies, 68 degrees, going to be into the mid-80s today. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica, a commercial drive in Yorkville. The National Weather Service has confirmed that at least 2 tornadoes touched down in central New York earlier this week. Experts say one twister hit the ground in the Oneida County community of Forestport Wednesday. There was also another tornado in Redfield, which is located in Oswego County. Both tornadoes did cause some damage, but thankfully no injuries were reported. Severe weather affected the region as the remnants of what was Hurricane Beryl moved across upstate New York. Memorial services will begin today for a Syracuse University graduate and Cleveland police officer who was killed in the line of duty. The wake for 27-year-old Jameson Ritter is today. His funeral is tomorrow at Browncroft Community Church in Rochester. Ritter died last week after being shot on the 4th of July while trying to help fellow officers serve a warrant. He graduated from SU in 2019, and a scholarship is now set up in his honor. For the second time this year, mosquitoes carrying the West Nile virus have been found in Oswego County. The latest infected insects were discovered in a sample that was taken recently in Hastings. Previously, mosquitoes with West Nile were captured in West Monroe. Health officials say people can protect themselves by getting rid of water on their properties and wearing the appropriate clothing when outdoors. Symptoms of West Nile include fever, body ache, and a skin rash. State Senator John Mannion will be getting a boost as he looks to earn a seat on Capitol Hill. Mannion has now joined the Red to Blue program, which aims to help Democrats in key congressional districts win on Election Day. Mannion is taking on Republican Congressman Brandon Williams in the race to see who represents the 22nd district. Mannion says his fellow Democrats have made it very clear this is a seat the party really wants to claim. And 1 in 3 Americans reportedly have a side hustle to keep up with the rising cost of living. According to a survey from Bankrate, 36% of Americans are taking part in the gig economy. People tell researchers their side hustles make them an average of $900 more a month. Many millennials and Gen Zers are embracing freelance work, with the majority saying their side hustles aren't just for the financial gain, but a way for them to continue with a passion or hobby.
Are you sure they don't work in radio, all these people you're talking about? Because in radio it seems like...
This may be my side hustle, because that's my passion or hobby.
That's exactly right. You end up with, like, I think I have like 4 jobs that I do in some regard every single day. So welcome to radio 2024.
That's right.
We're Gen Zers.
We're Gen Zers.
Yeah, I knew I was younger than I thought.
And here's an interesting story for you. The Minnesota State Fair has an interesting variety of new food choices. We were just talking about this yesterday.
They're earlier every year. So I'm bringing in Senator Joe Griffo. Good morning, Joe. Good morning.
You might be getting a role on In Loving Color. Remember that show? How many jobs you got?
That's right. I do. I was not a big watcher of that show, but a lot of big names.
Jim Carrey
came out of that show.
And they all had a lot of jobs. Remember?
They all had a lot of jobs. Well, welcome to they may have been in radio.
It was ahead of its time.
Way ahead. For
the Minnesota State Fair.
That state fair comes early, so they serve kind of as the innovator.
The benchmark, yes.
Right,
the
so they'll come up with something, and state fairs throughout the country will follow.
Well, yesterday was, of course, county fair or state fair food day.
It was.
But this year's Minnesota State Fair, which kicks off on August 22nd, has an interesting variety of new food choices. Fair, among the other food offerings, are Cookie Butter Crunch Mini Donuts, Cotton Candy Iced Tea, and get this, deep fried ranch dressing. That's it.
Deep fried.
It's described. It's described
deep
as
fried ranch dressing.
Yeah, so it's ranch dressing filling made with ranch seasoning, buttermilk, and cream cheese in a panko shell, deep fried and dusted with ranch powder.
That sounds like indigestion, but really, really good. That
Straight shot to it.
That doesn't sound bad because your filling is really a ranch dressing flavored cream cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about those arteries.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that one, right? I mean, you got to call Dr. Tellerico on that one.
It won't be good.
I'll stick with the Charlie DiCristina stuff. It's a
Utica
thing.
That stuff is good.
It's a Utica thing stuff. You're right. It's really, really good. How about the Boilermaker weekend forecast?
It's looking pretty good, Bill.
A little cloudy today, but let's see what he says.
It's brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica and Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Here's the latest from the WIBX Weather Center for today. Mostly cloudy skies with a high of 82 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 67. Tomorrow, Saturday, Boilermaker weekend. Partly cloudy, a stray shower or two, maybe a thunderstorm, a high near 85. And then on Boilermaker Sunday, a few clouds from time to time, otherwise sunny. High of 87. Race time, we're looking at 72 degrees. That's the latest. I'm Mike Johnson for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now, it's 67 degrees under cloudy skies at 7:10.
Al Roker's cousin. Yeah, works right here in town.
Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. I'm not going to dwell on it too much, but the Yankees suck. I mean, the Yankees lose.
Can I read something for you? And
who
Joe,
is it from?
As a state senator, could you give some advice to the youngin' over here? You got it. There are 162 games. I realize things are not good right now, but man, you got to let it go.
There's no evidence that things will get better.
Here is
post All-Star break, right? We got to wait till the All-Star break.
You're absolutely right.
Is like
what's going to change?
If post All-Star break we still see this trend, then we got a problem.
Here's Richard. I have never heard anyone more negative than Andrew. The Yankees lose 2 out of 3, and Tampa gained a game on Baltimore in the standings because the Orioles got swept at home by the lousy Cubs and got shut out the last 2 games of that series. Damn it, Andrew. Teams lose. Nobody goes 162-0.
Richard, I know, but they haven't won a series in a month.
Let the senator talk.
But the point Andrew makes, though, that which would be valid right now, is the old man would never stand for this. If
not.
George were still, if George were owner, things would be getting shaken up.
You're going to lose Soto,
right?
Which is the only addition that we have that wasn't there last year. That's the only difference. In the last 3 seasons,
so
they
now
started
you
strong.
are convinced you agree with me now.
I'm not saying he's going to the Mets, but he's not going to be on the Yankees.
The only team that has the money right now is the New York Mets.
Mm-hmm.
He's going.
You don't need him.
He's staying in New York and he's going with the money.
They don't need him.
Who says you need to need?
The problem is, okay, that the last 3 seasons, if you follow history, because if you don't change things, it's bound to repeat itself. The last 3 seasons, they've had a strong start and have had dismal post All-Star breaks.
And we got a manager to look at too, right?
If we could, the Yankees lose, the Mets won handily yesterday.
And they beat the Rail Riders twice.
They're now 2 games ahead of 2 games up over 500. Yesterday in minor league baseball, a lot of people went out to see the Yankees and the Mets play. Syracuse Mets
and the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Rail Riders.
The Rail Riders. Rail Riders. Really? Yeah, I know that's got to be.
Used to be the Sky Chiefs. Okay, what is
Listen,
that?
It's not me.
Yeah,
I don't know what a Sky Chief is.
They used to be called the Red Barons.
Anyway, the Mets, Syracuse Mets, win 2 games from the AAA Yankees.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I saw a lot of the same stuff yesterday at that game.
All right, are you done? Listen.
Yeah.
Start being positive. That's what you have to do. All right. I'm told the senator has a
limited time
restraint.
So yes, we'll blow off more commercials for the senator. Yes.
He's actually about to fly one of the fighter jets and train for Sunday.
He's got his flight gear on.
All right. So
I need my aviators. I left my aviators. In the car. Yeah.
So you guys were able to put together and work with Mark Donovan and your office and the military, and somehow we have a flyover again this year.
Yeah, this has been a great team effort. I want to thank Mark Donovan and all of the staff there at the Boilermaker, Alex Gerald in my office.
Mm-hmm.
We've been engaged in this for...
Alex works very hard.
He does. He does great work,
or
too.
Or else. No, I'm kidding.
Or else.
But this is something that we go through each year, and it becomes more and more challenging. You have to first get clearances from the FAA, you have to get clearances from the Department of Defense, from the various service, whether it be the Air Force, the Army. So it's not an easy process. And then once you get those approvals, and they have become more difficult, they were a little easier pre-COVID. Once you get those, then you have to go shopping to try to find units. Now, New York is one of the only states in our area that does not have a fighter wing anymore. We had the boys from Syracuse for a long time. That's what they were called. That was turned into drones. So now you don't have...
And now it's... don't they have the National Guard, the Air National Guard
We
there?
do. We have mobility, so we have tankers and things of that nature, but the fighters are all around us right now.
I was going to say, where else are we going to steal our military gear from?
Oh, my God.
That was a terrible story.
What a story.
So, so we're the only ones.
So you take that perspective that there's not a unit in New York that you can go to. So what we did this year is working again collectively along with Eastern Air Defense Sector, Captain Haifa. We worked with Lieutenant Colonel Mowers over at the Guard or the Reserve in Niagara. And we also have the Division of Naval and Military Affairs in the state of New York.
Okay.
So this has been a great process, and we don't give up. We're very persistent. And so this year we have been successful. And we did identify and got a unit. You will have a flyover this year. And they are coming from the Midwest. And it is a Guard unit.
I think they're here already. I was seeing fighter jets. What are those?
You may see activity in the area, but I can just speak to Sunday.
All I can tell you is there were 2 fighter jets that flew over twice. I was doing an outside shoot yesterday, and we had to stop because they're so loud.
And so
were you flying that plane?
You'll get a great thing, but this is going to be unique this year too, because you also have the mobility wing and the reserve, and they're going to be here, and you'll get to see them. This is the KC-135s that are huge, and they transport thing. And the 10th Mountain Division. We have been working with them for a number of years. Those guys are phenomenal. The Aviation Brigade. That was a moment like you saw on TV.
Yes. At least you didn't call me Putin.
Yeah. But the Aviation Brigade, and they are going to be involved too. So you actually are going to have the Department of the Army, Department of the Air Force, so the U.S. Air Force, U.S. Army, all engaged. It's going to be really, I think, great to see the beginning of the race, and then to see the post-race event, post-national anthem. So the only thing that could be problematic right now is, and we got to call Mike Johnson, is weather is always a factor in order to be able to fly.
It'll be foggy in the morning, but it'll clear up.
And any national security priorities that may come about, and hopefully we won't see any problems across our nation, and anything within the asset itself, within the division. So right now, we've got fingers crossed. Everything looks like it's a go, and let's hope everything goes smoothly. And I think the crowd will see a unique flyover this time, which will be pretty cool, actually, when you see the military assets from the Army and the Air Force.
That's really, we've never seen that before.
No.
Very exciting.
Did you see that Lieutenant General Mark Sassville has retired? You know who he is? He is the pilot who was given the order by the president to prevent the hijacked plane on 9/11 from reaching New York or Washington. Now, ultimately, what we believe happened is the people on the plane actually caused a fight and tried to take control of the jet, and ultimately it went into the ground in Pennsylvania. But the pilot, it just shows you
true patriots,
and that was all being run right from here.
Correct. I mean, the jets were scrambled that day on 9/11.
All of a sudden, Rome took control of the airways in the United States.
Then head of the Eastern Air Defense Sector, which may have been the Northeast Air Defense Sector at the time.
At the time, yeah.
It was Colonel Bomar. And, in fact, he is in a number of documentaries. It was here in Rome at the now Eastern Air Defense Sector, part of NORAD, Joint Canadian-American Command, that scrambled the jets. And
just amazing.
And control the airspace.
Yeah.
And that changed their mission after that day because they always were looking outward. Now they monitor both inward and outward when they're looking at the skies across our country.
All that done
across North America, actually.
Right in our own backyard.
Congratulations to Bill Keeler, because Bill Keeler last night was recognized, and understandably,
I can't seem to speak without choking up. It's terrible. Well, it's embarrassing. I had things I wanted to say, and I couldn't get any of it out because I'm an idiot.
You remember Speaker Boehner? Speaker Boehner.
Oh, he cried at a drop of a hat. That's what I'm becoming. I'm becoming him.
He was the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, and he was a good man, and still is. So don't ever worry about that. It's
terrible.
It shows human feelings.
You're human.
And, you're
it
human.
shows weakness.
You're not. No, it does not show weakness.
Does.
You're not Spock, I don't think. Right. So you have emotion, and that was a truly deserving award and presentation. And when you go through something like that, I think you handled it quite well, and everybody was pretty excited last night. So congratulations to you you've earned it and deserve it, and congratulations.
So I've heard Ed Bradley, and I said this is very important when somebody wins. Christian Copeland, I think, won the award last year. I just wanted to mention that it's given each year, but I think it's important to be given. It's also important, which we will do at about 7:40 this morning. After Joe, we almost give away. We do $500.
$500,000.
Hobica.
Boilermaker weekend. You got to do that.
But it is so important to remember who the award is named for. I almost think that often what happens. So you think about the Nobel Peace Prize, and all of a sudden you can start talking about dynamite, which is very interesting, right? The person who inspired all that. There are stories behind every award. Pulitzer. Right. There are stories behind every award, and I think it's important to know who is this Ed Bradley, and that tradition we continue to talk about year after year because that's what the family wanted when they actually did this, and that's what the community. Everybody has said great things about. Tim Reed, who will come on in a little bit to talk about Ed Bradley, said he was one of the most enthusiastic, or maybe the most enthusiastic, wheelchair racer ever in the history of the Boilermaker. So
absolutely, and you had the wheelchair participants there last night.
And what they do when they give away every year, they give away another racing wheelchair.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a big weekend in the area, and I think that's kind of what epitomizes what we are as a community, right? You have an event of this significance. You have so many people involved in this, everybody doing their part, a truly team effort from the volunteers to the Boilermaker committee.
It's amazing, really.
It is, and the spectators that come out, the brewery and the Mapp family. It's just a great event, and that's why everybody wants to roll up our sleeves and try to help and support, and this is our small way of trying to do the same thing to make this exciting at the finish and post-race party. We actually were able to get the legislation passed this year, Assemblywoman Bumstein and myself, for the beer. So this is all, let's hope for a great day. And again, thank you, community. And this is going to bring a lot of people here. You heard 43 states represented, 11 countries participating in this, and the economic boom that you get in this community as a result of this race.
Yeah. And everything looks, it is our, yesterday we were talking how, at your home when you hold a party, it forces you to clean everything up and to touch up those little spots that maybe you walk by every day and don't realize. So you look very, very carefully. And we do the same thing Boilermaker Week when we're looking at the city and the region and the area.
Mayor,
man, has it come a long way.
First year for Mayor Galimi. I know he's excited about this. County Executive Pacenti was there. I mean, the county government, the city government do a lot of work together to make sure the area is inviting. And so thank all of them. Like I said, this is an opportunity for this area to shine. And I think we do shine brightly when this happens. And it's a result of who and what it takes in order to do this. And I applaud everyone.
Well, and we have, you had the women's the Olympic event that occurred unbelievably at the stand or at the Nexus in the Odd. The Boilermaker, again, a world-class event. And then we're coming right back in the fall with lacrosse.
Yeah.
So
Rob
this
Esch
is a big
team
year.
Have done some great things there, too, obviously. That's what I'm saying. People stepping up and making things happen in this community. And I've heard that more and more. There's just, we have challenges. But I think we really are positioning and we're seeing progress. And that's, you never lose hope. And I think that's what brought us here, a lot of hard work and knowing that we are a community that can rise.
Let me ask you one more question. You got to go. It's almost 7:24. Have you ever during your career designed an alleyway? Because there's one that needs a redo.
There's a lot of alleyways in Rome, though.
There are. They're very nice.
Yes,
though. I mean, they're very nice. They kind of fit the area.
Yeah, I just, I don't know a lot about all this except what I've heard.
I'm
but
joking.
The use of the ARPA money is also something I think
it's a problem.
Need to,
I mean,
this is beyond ARPA money. There's $200,000 more dollars that went into this.
Well, that's the investigation. That's what really needs to be known, investigated. But I find that we were divvying out this money, and then you could do whatever you want with it. And I do think that Mayor Jackie Izzo probably received a little criticism at the time because she was very. She had a proposal in place. Here's how the money should be spent, and I kind of feel like in Utica. It didn't go that way, and how in the world did we end up with what we currently have at a time when progress is abundant in Utica?
There's a lot of good things happening, and
I know you like the current mayor, Mayor Galimi's.
Right. Sometimes you have to, like in Rome, we had issues with urban renewal and many Northeast communities, and it was tough when I became mayor because you looked at it and it wasn't working. But there were millions of dollars spent, federal money, to do it.
Completely redoing communities, and then we looked back on it and said, well, this is terrible.
And then what do? You can't just let it sit there because it did for a long time. So we decided we had to rip it up and rearrange and begin doing things, and it's cost more taxpayer dollars. So unfortunately, things like that happen. But you do have to, when you see that, I think it needs to be addressed and resolved. If it's not working, then you make it work the right way.
And not take it personally, right? Not think that, okay, this is bad because I was a part of this. It takes a very big person to be able to stand up and say, I swung the bat and I struck out. I will swing the bat another day. You got to be able to do that. Thick skin, Joe.
Thick skin, and sometimes it's good to get singles as well as home runs.
It is true. That's a very good point.
That's how you win Waynes.
I know you have an appointment. Right. Thank you for stopping in.
It's our pleasure to get to see you Sunday.
Thank you for your work on this. The flyover will be exceptional this year.
Do we know what time it'll take place? A comment from Jason.
Well, it all depends upon the singer that you've selected, right? Hopefully everything will be on cue. We do have personnel, military personnel, who'll be there
Timing
that
it.
day and timing and communicating.
So that's my job on the, believe it or not, on the stage. Time, Andrew. Can you imagine?
Oh, my God.
My job is
I
time.
can't imagine. We would have missed the flyover by 27 minutes already.
It'll either happen at 10 a.m. or 10:30. You will begin at around 9:50 in 9:45, 9:50. Around the region, you'll begin to see activity because a lot of times they'll go out and stage somewhere else.
You'll be seeing that probably west of Utica. That's all I'll say right now.
Okay.
And that will be happening.
Is it coming out of Griffiths? Okay, yeah.
So
we don't know. We don't know.
So
where else would it come from?
Could come from the base itself. It
True.
could come from.
Yeah.
Remember, these are fighters; they can fly fast.
So if you live in Rome, get ready. Get ready for Sunday morning, and if you're not in Utica.
But timing, I guess I would yield to Bill and the Boilermaker because they would know. But it's around that 10 a.m.-ish, right?
Yeah, for the closing ceremonies.
For the beginning.
And then the band, it's an all-star version of Showtime. They bring in all these other people to perform.
Mayor Justin Smithson now.
Mayor Justin Smithson.
I know.
There will
awesome.
be 2 mayors on the stage tomorrow playing at the
It's
Sunday, playing at the Boilermaker. So, Galimi and Smithson.
Well, let's have a safe one and come out and enjoy it, everyone.
Okay, Joe, thank you. And I've now avoided playing commercials for quite some time.
Yes.
So we're going to do that. We have a $500 free money question of the day coming up on WIBX.
Hey, Utica, it is time for the rodeo. August 2nd and 3rd, the rodeo returns to Utica. 2 nights of the best bull riders in the Northeast competing for cash prizes. Join us before the event for live music in the Subaru Village and then see the bulls, broncs, and so much more. The Utica Stampede, Rodeo, and Expo, presented by Don's Ford, Clinton Tractor, Subaru, and best enjoyed with Coors Banquet, the official beer of the rodeo. Tickets available now at uticarodeo.com.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be backbreaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
A violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association exists to provide you with firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance, so when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
Welcome back to the Auto Quiz Show. Time to test your knowledge. Which brand offers a $500 military rebate for all veterans and active military?
Kia?
That's right, Kia does, as a recognition of the sacrifices made by the U.S. military during the Korean War. Question 2. Who has one of the top automotive warranties in the industry with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and a 5-year, 60,000-mile basic warranty?
Oh, Kia again.
You're right again. It's Kia. Next question. Which local dealership's sister store is the #1 volume Kia dealer from Maine to Maryland?
Destination Kia?
Are you cheating?
No, I can't.
You're right again. It's Destination Kia. Last question. Where could you look at over 400 new Kias in one location?
Oh, Destination Kia of Utica.
Right again. The answer is always Destination Kia of Utica.
So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
DD214 or LES are the qualifying proofs for military. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. January through December 2023 Kia sales report. Offer expires 7/31/24.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles?
Comment tu t'appelles? Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où?
Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks,
"How's your French going?"
you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
When you want to really learn another language, it starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
It's the 4th of July blowout at Mattress Express. Take up to 60 months to pay on anything in the store. Mattresses, massage chairs, you name it, with no money down. No money down for qualified buyers. See store for details. Go to mattressexpressny.com for locations.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information. How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Select's premium package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home. All done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better. You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge. Oh, you people are wonderful. Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee. I hear better than I ever thought possible. Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/radio. That's JABRA Enhance.com/radio. JabraEnhance.com/radio.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Are you ready to beat the heat and get fit? Hi, this is Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and in Clinton. At Fit Body Boot Camp, the environment is cool and the workouts are hot. My team of Rockstar certified coaches promise that you'll leave feeling sweaty. Nope, not because of the heat, but because of our invigorating workouts designed to provide you with unbelievable energy and strength. But how do you get started? Well, I'll make it real easy for you. All you need to do is call us at 315-725-3789 or find us on Facebook and sign up for 3 free sessions.
Hello, Utica. This is Carrie Paleo, Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. I'm really excited to introduce more fantastic new businesses that have recently become a part of our thriving community. Here in Utica, we're not just growing, we are flourishing. Be sure to support our new businesses and our local economy.
Air City Cannabis, 17070 Oriskany Street West, Utica. Renegade Boxing, 310 Broad Street, Utica. Goldmine 2, 4662 Commercial Drive, New Hartford.
Please join the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce in welcoming these new businesses. Here we grow again.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 7:36. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The National Weather Service confirming that at least 2 tornadoes touched down in central New York earlier this week. Experts say one twister hit the ground in the Oneida County community of Forestport Wednesday. There was also another tornado in Redfield, which is located in Oswego County. Both tornadoes did cause some damage, but thankfully no injuries were reported. Severe weather impacted the region as the remnants of what was Hurricane Beryl moved across upstate New York. Memorial services will begin today for a Syracuse University graduate and Cleveland police officer who was killed in the line of duty. The wake for 27-year-old Jameson Ritter is today at Felvo Funeral Home in Webster. Ritter's funeral tomorrow will be at Browncroft Community Church in Rochester. He died on the 4th of July after being shot while trying to help fellow officers serve a warrant. He graduated from SU in 2019, and a scholarship is now set up in his name. State Senator John Mannion will be getting a boost as he looks to earn a seat on Capitol Hill. Mannion has now joined the Red to Blue program, which aims to help Democrats in key congressional districts win on Election Day. Mannion is taking on Republican Congressman Brandon Williams in the race to see who represents the 22nd Congressional District. Mannion says his fellow Democrats have made it very clear this is a seat the party wants to claim. People who love the Great New York State Fair now have an important date to circle on their calendars. It was announced yesterday that admission, parking, and midway tickets will go on sale this Tuesday starting at 9 a.m. Admission is $8.32 if it's purchased online. But as always, fairgoers 65 and older and kids 12 and under get in for free. More details can be found at nysfair.ny.gov. This year's fair goes from August 21st through September 2nd. And President Biden introduced Ukrainian President Zelensky as President Putin. The gaffe came before Biden gave a rare solo press conference with growing concerns about his mental fitness. The event was part of the NATO summit in Washington, D.C. The president met with Zelensky and laid out commitments to help Ukraine bolster its air defense against Russia. It is 7:38. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net.
Here's the latest from the WIBX Weather Center for today. Mostly cloudy skies with a high of 82 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 67. Tomorrow, Saturday, Boilermaker weekend. Partly cloudy, a stray shower or two, maybe a thunderstorm, a high near 85. And then on Boilermaker Sunday, a few clouds from time to time, otherwise sunny, high of 87. Race time, we're looking at 72 degrees. That's the latest. I'm Mike Johnson for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now, it's 69 under cloudy skies at 7:39. I do want to let you know that it's free money question of the daytime. $500 up for grabs. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you told me to tease it, but I
usually that would come before.
Oh, okay.
For the news.
Well, listen.
What are you going to do?
People were eagerly awaiting.
You can't win them all. You're a Yankees fan.
That's right. Your team's still a game over 500.
2. Davey, good morning. Good morning. How you doing in there? You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
We're about to give somebody a chance to win.
I think both New York teams may not make the playoffs.
We're about to give listen, all I know is the Mets were 16 games back right around Memorial Day.
Yes.
And where are they now? 3 games back.
They're
from
what? From second?
Third place, 2 games over. Listen, all I told you a long time ago there, Choppy, was I think this team's going to make the playoffs. That's all I said.
Okay.
Let's see if I'm right. I may be wrong. But it looks pretty damn good right now. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't be talking.
I know. I'm not in denial.
Your house is made
not the
of
one in denial.
Thin glass there, Andrew Dominio.
The difference is if I had been talking smack about how good the Yankees were and saying your team was bad, that would be talking
I'm not
smack
saying
I'm
the one that's
I'm not
actually,
in denial about my team's lack of playoff progress.
So you know, I'm the one that is actually saying just let the season play out. You're panicking way too early. I'm just saying. Davey,
realism.
We're looking for caller number, dear God.
Caller number 9.
9th caller right now. Your chance to win $500. Caller number 9, 315-736-0186. Great question on the way. It is next on WIBX.
What's your design inspiration? A picture on the wall? A photo from a magazine? A board you've made on Pinterest? Hi, this is Kira Meelan from Meelan's Carpet One. It's amazing what some of our customers bring to us for inspiration, and we love working side by side with them to help turn their flooring dream into a reality. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the job, helping you to discover your perfect flooring. And there really is so much to discover. Consider the latest flooring trends as you plan your next home project. Many of our customers are surprised by the incredible new choices we have available. For example, today's snap-together waterproof luxury vinyl is incredibly popular. It's durable and it's stunning, with so many styles that replicate hardwood and beautiful stone looks. We have options that inspire, designers who will help bring it all together, and always a beautiful installation. To get the perfect flooring, start with the right flooring store. Visit Meelan's Carpet One on Commercial Drive East in Yorkville.
Welcome back to the Auto Quiz Show. Time to test your knowledge. Which brand offers a $500 military rebate for all veterans and active military?
Kia?
That's right, Kia does, as a recognition of the sacrifices made by the U.S. military during the Korean War. Question 2. Who has one of the top automotive warranties in the industry with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and a 5-year, 60,000-mile basic warranty?
Oh, Kia again.
You're right again. It's Kia. Next question. Which local dealership's sister store is the #1 volume Kia dealer from Maine to Maryland?
Destination Kia?
Are you cheating?
No, I can't.
You're right again. It's Destination Kia. Last question. Where could you look at over 400 new Kias in one location?
Oh, Destination Kia of Utica.
Right again. The answer is always Destination Kia of Utica.
So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
DD214 or LES are the qualifying proofs for military. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. January through December 2023 Kia sales report. Offer expires 7/31/24.
Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. Income may be subject to state, local, or alternative minimum tax. Did you know that municipal bonds are a way for investors to support civil projects while earning federally tax-free income? The Erie Canal, which led to the expansion of the United States into the Midwest in the 1800s, was financed with municipal bonds. Are you looking to bridge the gap between the income of your working years and the income needed in retirement? Municipal bonds might provide the solution you're looking for. Henyon & Walsh is a leading specialist in tax-free municipal bonds and has provided investors with quality service and personal attention since 1990. Call now to receive their informative bond guide absolutely free. Dial 1-800-761-9761 to learn how to earn retirement income while keeping your taxes at bay. Just dial 1-800-761-9761 for a copy of their informative bond guide for free. No cost, no obligation. 1-800-761-9761. Henyon & Walsh Inc., member of FINRA and SIPC.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, a lot. I see that. A lot to get to here. A lot to get to. Official copy of the Keeler in the Morning radio program for Boilermaker Weekend is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. And if you've not tried the official drink of the Boilermaker, it is the matcha green tea latte. No official. There's no official correlation there. They're not a. It's just me.
It'll make watching or running the race a little easier.
If you're here for the Boilermaker, you should go to Daylight Donuts in New Hartford and try the matcha latte or whatever coffee or donuts or breakfast sandwiches and bagels that you choose. It's Daylight Donuts in
New Hartford.
New Hartford. Okay, who do you want me to go to? You want me to do the contest first? No, let me do Stand By Paul in Rome. You have a chance to win $500 from the Hobeika Law Firm. But before we do that, let's do Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. Sahid Karsik on the line right now. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Bill.
Great to have you on. And who are we looking for here this week as part of Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week?
This week we are looking for Tyler Nicholson. He's a white male, 32 years of age, 6 feet tall, weighs approximately 280 pounds, has brown hair, blue eyes. He has 2 local criminal court warrants out of Verona Town Court. The first being for criminal contempt second, which is a misdemeanor, and the second being medicine second, and criminal possession of a weapon for both misdemeanors.
Okay. We'll have that complete story along with a photo up on our website at WIBX950.com. We should also remind people, Crime Stoppers, great organization to be able to assist police anonymously, and that is so needed today more than ever. It's a great tool, Sahid.
Bill, I agree. You got a minute? I could just share a quick story about a Crime Stopper tip that came through?
Yes, please.
Back in February of this year, we actually got a Crime Stopper tip from the state of Florida that was forwarded to us from a local sheriff's office down there. Based off that information, we were able to utilize our local resources and apprehend the individual in the town of Marcy based off the Crime Stoppers tip.
That's awesome.
It is.
There are several Crime Stoppers
around the country.
Divisions across the country is really awesome.
And everybody works together, and that's the beauty of this. There's such, we've had in government, we've seen it happen, even during 9/11, right, where one agency doesn't talk to the other. That is not the case with Crime Stoppers, and it shows here. The tip came out of Florida. It just puts in bold font the importance of the organization.
I agree, Bill.
Sahid Karsik, thank you so much as always. And as I said, this will be up on our website soon.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
All right, it's the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. Let me go now to Paul in Rome, who's ready to take a shot at Hobica's Boilermaker Week Extravaganza. It is a chance to win $500.
Come on, let's
from
win
Joseph
that money.
and Andrew Hobica at 315-724-1600. And Paul is ready to take a shot. Good morning. How are you, Paul?
Bill.
Good morning. You know the way it goes, right? You know the rules. You have 7 seconds.
Sure.
You need one answer. Get that answer in there. And I hope it works out well for you. You'll have 7 seconds before the buzzer. And if you're ready, we are as well.
Okay.
Here we go. Here's your question. Brewster loved this woman in 1970. Character name only. Ready, go.
Quick guess.
Mary.
What did you did you come up with an answer there?
Yeah, you said Mary.
I said
Mary.
Mary.
Mary. You got an answer in there. You know where we're going here. Shelley Duvall, of course, just passed away. And her first role was in the movie. She was the love interest of Brewster. The character's name was?
Suzanne.
Did you say Suzanne?
Yeah.
It was Suzanne.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So that's where Brewster loved this
poor
woman
Shelley Duvall.
in 1970. Character name only. What's the name? And ultimately Suzanne. Well,
Turn
listen.
the clock back.
Could we only listen? I would have had the human growth hormones if we could. I'd be like 6'11".
As Cher
playing
always
basketball
says,
somewhere.
Turn back time.
We're going to give you the Food and Fun all-in-one free Food and Fun card. It's a $25 gift card. That was a good share, by the way. $25 gift card, good at Nexus, the Adirondack Bank Center, Cookies, Q and Creamery, Babes, brunch tomorrow, Boilermaker brunch on Sunday, pasta at Babes for carbs this weekend. Be ready for that. And the $25 gift card will work for that. So stand by, Paul. Davey's going to hook you up if we could only turn back time.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much. Okay. Davey, meet Paul. Paul, meet Davey. It is Boilermaker weekend. Yesterday was the, this is the sponsor and wheelchair event. It's a reception, and it happens. If I could, just for a moment, just talk about the Irish Cultural Center.
Oh, that's where it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
there.
they put out a buffet, and they had a music there last night too, and which was really good. The bar is beautiful. The place is. It is such a great addition to the area. They did a great job last night. On the line right now, someone who is very familiar with the Boilermaker, the one and only, my partner with Real Men Get Tested for Cancer, Mr. Tim Reed. Good morning.
Well, good morning. How are you, Bill?
Well, I'm doing well. And I listen, I saw Earl. He looked great. And, of course, Earl, the history, the founder of the Boilermaker. It was a great event last night.
The father. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I wanted to, and this is my biggest anger, Tim, and even when I had to talk about this cancer bout, I had to have Tim finish my sentences.
I remember.
Here in the studio.
Yeah, thanks for the warning on that, too.
Well, Tim,
coming into this studio to be prepared for
there
anything.
was no warning. Yeah. I didn't know I was going to not be able to finish the sentence, so I just looked and said, Tim, you finish. Yeah, well, you did a great job. Thank you.
Well, thanks.
So there was this award last night, the Ed Bradley Award, which is given to somebody who gives back to the community, I guess, if you think about it. And somehow they pulled my name out of a hat, and I was the guy.
Jeez.
So I do not believe I am worthy of it. However, it is what it is. And but I'm telling you, Tim, I can't. The minute I start thinking about everything going on, my voice cracks and I can't finish the sentence. Look, I'm even starting right now. It's terrible. It is a weakness that I've got to train myself. And it was, I find it to be embarrassing personally. However, this award is in the name of a young guy who has passed, Ed Bradley. Can you talk about him? Because I do think it's so important when we give out awards, they're usually named after somebody, and as years go by, we forget who that person was, and that is a mistake.
Exactly. Well, first of all, I want to say that, anybody receiving this award it's incredibly high praise because Ed Bradley, to me, just squeezed every single bit of drops out of this thing we call life. I would so look forward to seeing Ed and his family during the expo. And I can't say that of all people that I would see. There were 3 or 4 that once a year was enough. But, Ed did, Ed did 15 Boilermakers. He wouldn't always win, although he did win the, as I recall, he won the Niagara Marathon, I think in 2010.
Okay.
He was a cheerleader. His enthusiasm. Everything. He had every reason to feel badly for himself.
Yeah.
And yet he always had a smile on his face, cheered on other racers in regards to it, just was an incredible man. And, I think it's a reminder to us when we sit and, feel sorry for ourselves and, oftentimes what I call first world problems, that here was a guy who had every reason to feel badly.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, was just incredibly enthusiastic.
It's somebody to model yourself after, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And it's funny because his dad, Dr. Bradley, was first of all wanted to meet me last night before the award was given out. Was very complimenting when it came to Real Men Get Tested for Cancer, and for you, which really was your idea in the very beginning. And the message is just to remind people, for God's sakes, you could do so much for yourself and your family if you get tested and follow through with your regular physicals
sure.
and make sure you do your blood work. But he said this award is for Bill, but it's also for all of the wheelchair racers. And
exactly,
it really and I attempted in the poorly, by the way, in the midst of this, I attempted to explain that when we do wheelchair basketball with DePerno and everybody over there at Citron, it is so amazing how, I think if you're among those who have a disability, you want normalcy in your life. You want normalcy in your community. And it is really quite interesting when you're on their turf. They are so much more fluent, so much faster, so much stronger, so much better than you are when they're sitting in a wheelchair playing wheelchair basketball. It gives you another way to look at things, which to me makes that wheelchair basketball event just the greatest event that we can attend each and every year, because these guys are amazing. The upper body strength, Tim, to be able to throw a basketball while sitting in a wheelchair, you might not think is a big deal until you try it.
Exactly. I look at guys like Herman Garrick.
Yeah.
I ran into Herman Garrick. I was at a CABV function and a meeting, and Herman was there, and I go, what the heck are you doing here? And he says, well, I volunteer here.
Wow.
And you run into Jimmy Joseph, who says, who was in a terrible accident accident
Yeah.
in regards to losing his lower legs or whatever, and said, really, the way my life was going, this was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life.
Yeah.
Because I really discovered this zest. So, I mean, you see these folks out there in regards to it, and they make everything of what they have. And I think it's just a reminder sometimes for us in regards to us to live our best lives too.
Who would think someone could say, because Jimmy's accident was terrible.
Very.
He worked on a garbage route, and he was behind the garbage truck, and someone plowed into the back of the truck, pinning him between the vehicle and the truck, and he lost his legs. But for Jimmy, he says, as terrible as that was, and Tim, you just said it, it changed his life for the better. And without that, he doesn't know where he would have ended up. Boy, that's really looking on the brighter side of things, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's incredible.
So, as long as, people take their medicine like they're supposed to.
That is true.
Things like that, it things work out.
I don't know why, but it sounds like you've been talking to my wife. Yesterday was not an easy day when it came to the medicine, but listen, the alternative is awful, and I cannot reiterate enough how lucky I am to have this type, even by what you went through and what Father Sean went through with your surgeries and the radiation you had to go through. I am very, very lucky. I just got to get through it. So,
Yep.
All right, Mr. Reed. And, let's not forget, you played a major role in a lot of the changes that occurred in the Boilermaker over the years. You were the one to say we can do more. And and when we see the result of that, every time I drive into the parking lot and see that garden over there, I'm like, yep, that was Tim's, a little piece of Tim's progress right there.
Yeah, we moved to West Utica, and it was near the finish line or whatever. It is. It's interesting. It's amazing to think it's been 6 years now. So gonna run Sunday and excited.
You are running, all right.
I'm excited for you. We'll be cheering you on
for my 70th birthday.
Wow,
that's what I'm doing. So
God, you don't look a day over 70. You're doing no. You look.
I knew that was coming, Keeler.
You look very young. You look and to be running, for God's sakes, good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Reed, thank you. Enjoy this special weekend.
All right, pal. We'll see you Sunday.
Thank you so much, Tim Reed. And that is a great tribute to Ed Bradley, right?
Yeah.
Really
and congratulations again, my friend.
All right, we're going to break. And, Davey, I'm sorry that Andrew's mad at me because I didn't hit the time and we didn't get these two commercials in, but we will get them in next hour. Got to break. News is next.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Business as usual. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Biden gets his daily briefing this morning, then heads to Michigan for a campaign event after saying repeatedly at his first solo news conference of the year, wrapping up a NATO summit in D.C., that he's the most qualified person for the job and the most qualified to beat Donald Trump in November.
Running for a second term, the president says, is not about his legacy.
And because, look, I got more work to do. We got more work to finish. There's so much, we made so much progress. Think about it.
Dismissing concerns from a growing number of Democrats urging him to drop out of the race, President Biden says he's unlikely to change his mind.
No, unless they came back and said, there's no way you can win.
But the president says no one and no poll is saying that. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Nevertheless, it's now 18 Democrats in Congress saying the president should let somebody else be the nominee. South Carolina Senate Republican Lindsey Graham on Fox.
We need the president of the United States to take a neurological exam, and here's why he won't. He will fail it.
The president says tests as recently as February show that he's in good shape neurologically. Former President Trump's legal team has filed for the dismissal of his criminal indictment and conviction in New York, saying last week's Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity means some of the evidence should not have been allowed. A heat wave in the West lingers on. More than a dozen deaths in Santa Clara County, California this month are being investigated as heat-related.
Valley Health System ER physician Grant Lipman says the body's inability to cool can lead to heat stress and heat stroke.
When people walk out into these really intense temperatures, one of the body's reaction is that you have a shunting of blood from the core to the periphery to try to cool down.
County officials say the need now is to raise awareness in older residents or those with small children.
KTVU TV's Jesse Gary. There are still more than 1 million power outages in Texas since Hurricane Beryl Monday. At least 2 flood deaths are reported in Vermont. America's listening to Fox News.
NYPD officer Jonathan Diller's tragic story made national headlines this year. Now, Jonathan was shot and killed by a career criminal during a traffic stop. Jonathan, who's just 31 years old, leaves behind his wife Stephanie and 1-year-old son Ryan. Now, nothing will ever replace the loss of a husband and a father, but the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to pay off the mortgage on the Diller family's home. Please commit to $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
New York's top court will allow a so-called equal rights amendment to appear on the November ballot.
The New York State Court of Appeals affirming a lower court ruling from last month that a proposed amendment to the state's constitution that would bar discrimination over gender identity and pregnancy outcomes will appear on the November ballot. The court's decision dismissing an appeal on the grounds that no substantial constitutional question is directly involved. Democrats say they hope the ballot question will drive turnout in their favor as they frame the equal rights amendment as a way to protect abortion rights. A Republican state lawmaker had sued to block the ballot question, arguing Democrats in the legislature made a technical error when passing the amendment. In New York City, Lisa Lacera, Fox News.
A Wyoming man's the first person in 30 years diagnosed with a rare, often deadly bacterial disease.
Man became infected with leptospirosis through contact with dog urine, and that has prompted an investigation by the CDC. There are only about 150 or so human cases reported in the U.S. each year. CDC says without treatment, it can cause kidney damage, meningitis, liver failure, and even death. When the unidentified man was hospitalized, he had fluid around his lungs as well as kidney damage. While there is a vaccine available for dogs, there is none for humans. Doctors say the patient was treated with oral antibiotics and is recovering.
Fox's Sue Guzman. A woman sues JetBlue, claiming a flight attendant spilled hot tea on her, causing disfiguring burns.
According to the suit filed in Connecticut District Court, Tahana Lewis says her flight on May 15th left her with severe burns on her chest and lap. Lewis says when a passenger seated in front of her asked for a hot cup of tea, the contents were spilled on her by a flight attendant. The suit says the flight attendant served unreasonably and dangerously hot tea. Lewis is seeking $1.5 million in damages. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
JP Morgan Chase reports stronger than expected quarterly revenue. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Dermenio. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. We have close to 70 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. The National Weather Service has confirmed that a tornado touched down near Silver Creek by Eden and East Aurora as remnants of Hurricane Beryl hit western New York. Several towns in Erie County had damage from the storm. While Eden was placed under a state of emergency, in Arkwright, a roof was ripped off a house and thrown across the yard. Over 25,000 power outages were also reported in Erie County at the peak of the storm, but that number was down a few thousand by Wednesday evening. There were also tornadoes confirmed here in central New York. One was in Forestport and the other was in Oswego County. It was in the town of Redfield. Both tornadoes did cause damage, but thankfully no injuries were reported. Severe weather has impacted the region as the remnants of what was Hurricane Beryl moved across upstate New York. Memorial services will begin today for a Syracuse University graduate and Cleveland police officer who was killed in the line of duty. The wake for 27-year-old Jameson Ritter is from 4 p.m. until 8 p.m. today at Falvo Funeral Home in Webster. Ritter's funeral is tomorrow at Browncroft Community Church in Rochester, where he was born and raised. Ritter died last week after being shot while trying to help fellow officers serve a warrant on the 4th of July. He graduated from SU in 2019, and a scholarship is now set up in his honor. State Senator John Mannion will be getting a boost as he looks to earn his seat on Capitol Hill. Mannion has now joined the Red to Blue program, which aims to help Democrats in key congressional districts win on Election Day. Mannion is taking on Republican Congressman Brandon Williams in the race to see who will represent the 22nd Congressional District. Mannion says his fellow Democrats have made it very clear this is a seat the party wants to claim. People who love the Great New York State Fair now have an important date to circle on their calendars. It was announced yesterday admission, parking, and midway tickets will go on sale this Tuesday starting at 9 a.m. Admission is $8.32 if purchased online. But as always, fairgoers 65 and older and kids 12 and under get in for free. More details can be found at nysfair.ny.gov. This year's fair goes from August 21st through September 2nd. And hip-hop icon and New York native Flavor Flav is heading to Paris as the U.S. water polo team's hype man. The 65-year-old hype man jumped in a California practice pool.
Are you kidding me?
With the U.S. women's water polo team this week, wearing a uniform bearing the number 24 for the 2024 Olympics. He agreed to sponsor them for the next 5 years after one of their players posted on Instagram that the team needs support. They hope to snag a 4th gold medal. Flava Flav will be helping the men's team, too.
Didn't he work with Charlie Seeley's daughter? Wasn't Charlie Seeley's daughter on one of those reality shows?
Oh, I don't know if it was. There was a
Wasn't
Miss
he
Utica
involved in something like that?
I don't think Charlie. I'm not
Miss
sure about
Utica was.
Yes.
Charlie Seeley's daughter was on the I Live with a Rock Star or something like that. Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
that.
Look it up. It's true. No, I'm telling you. I'm going to find it for you. You think I'm nuts.
I don't think
Bill's
so.
on some kind of really serious medicine.
He's on a trial medication.
I think he's kind of dreaming these things up.
Yeah.
He's a little...
I do know
You know
that
what I
Charlie
mean.
Tosh.0 for his infomercials.
Listen to me. Yes. Do you know why? Because of his daughter.
Well, no, that didn't have anything to do with his daughter.
I'm just saying, his daughter... you do the weather, I'll do the research.
Okay, that sounds good.
I got some great Shelley Duvall stuff, too. It is so sad how it ended. And I just, Dr. Phil is out there defending his interview with her.
Back in 2016.
Terrible. No, shame.
Shame.
I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you something. Even I would not do an interview. How many times have we had something and we've talked about it and I said... You know what? If we did this, it is taking someone with a mental illness
and taking advantage
of them. Not Dr. Phil.
No.
Everybody's on limits, not off limits. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right.
He's on the medicine.
He's going to call me Putin.
He's hearing voices.
He's going to call me Putin.
But I will play Shelley Duvall's line with when she was on Dr. Phil. Maybe that makes me just as bad. How about a little weather forecast for Boilermaker weekend?
Here it is.
Here's the latest from the WIBX Weather Center for today. Mostly cloudy skies with a high of 82 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 67. Tomorrow, Saturday, Boilermaker weekend. Partly cloudy, a stray shower or two, maybe a thunderstorm, a high near 85. And then on Boilermaker Sunday, a few clouds from time to time, otherwise sunny. High of 87. Race time, we're looking at 72 degrees. That's the latest. I'm Mike Johnson for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now, close to 70 degrees under cloudy skies at 8:11. Sports brought to you by IBEW Nika 43, local contractors. The Mets win 7-0. The Yankees lose 5-4. What else is new lately in the world of sports? A legendary football coach, that's what's new. Monty Kiffin has passed away. He died at the age of 84 years old. Kiffin spent over 50 years as a coach at both the collegiate and professional levels. His most notable coaching tenure was as defensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Bucks from 96 to 2008. He helped assemble the Tampa 2 defense scheme that was crucial to the 2002 Bucks winning the Super Bowl. He was most recently a player personnel analyst for his son Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. There will be a new starting second baseman for the American League in the All-Star game on Tuesday. Marcus Semien of the Texas Rangers will now start his third consecutive All-Star game as he is set to replace Jose Altuve of the Astros in the starting lineup. Altuve will be resting his left hand after he was struck by a pitch on July 5th. Georgia football's top running back is putting his recent court case behind him. Trevor Etienne pleaded no contest to reckless driving, underage possession of alcohol, and 2 other driving offenses on Wednesday. He was charged with DUI back in March after police say the 20-year-old was classified as less safe, which allowed them to place Etienne into custody even though his blood alcohol content was less than 0.08. He's the younger brother of current Jaguars running back Travis. And Justin Thomas is sitting atop the leaderboard after the first round of the Genesis Scottish Open at the Renaissance Club in Scotland. The NASCAR Cup Series field will fight for playoff berths at Pocono Raceway this weekend. And the Wimbledon women's singles final is set after a thrilling day of semifinal matches.
I can't believe Goff is out of this.
I know. She was
It's
out
terrible.
early.
Yeah.
31 seed Barbara, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name, upset 4-seeded Elna Rybakina in 3 sets despite losing the first set. It should be an interesting down the stretch matchup. And if you're dealing with pain, maybe you've got tennis elbow. You're dealing with other pain injuries like your neck, back, knee, wrist, arthritis, shoulder, or foot and ankle pain like I was dealing with. Revive Softwave Therapy at 2709 Genesee Street may be able to help. You can call them for an appointment, 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427. That number can be found on their website, reviveutica.com as well. Mention the Keeler Show and you'll get a significant discount on your initial consultation with one of their doctors, where you will receive your first Softwave Therapy treatment, and they'll put you on a treatment and recovery plan and assessment. And they had helped me with great results in my foot and ankle pain, and they may be able to help you as well. It's an FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and all joint issues. So get more information. Check out videos of the treatment being done and other testimonials at reviveutica.com. That's reviveutica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy, Genesee Street in Utica.
I can't wait to be able to tell you what I found in my very extensive research.
About?
What we were just talking about. I'm on the meds and you're not. You don't even remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with me today.
Is it it's the Yankees. Is it possible to drive an award-winning Mazda with 0% APR financing? Find out, as Ricky Z says, right here at Steve Ponte Mazda. Drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-5 SE model for only $185 per month on a 36-month lease. Or you can save 0%. 0%. You're not saving 0%. You're saving with 0%. 0% APR financing on select award-winning new 2024 Mazdas. I believe I drove the CX-5, which was a really nice ride, and when I was getting service done on my vehicle.
Yeah. Oh, so you had they gave you a loaner.
They give you a loaner. Yeah. Let's make your deal, Rick says, on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Okay, I've gotten that out of the way. Now I want to give you this. This actually comes from the newspaper that used to be here in the area. They call it, what do they call it? The Observer Dispatch.
Oh, right, yes.
It used
the
to
OD,
be.
as it used to be known.
It used to be here back in 2010. Dated November 15th. Dateline Hollywood. With Def Leppard lighting up the TV screen, 7-year-old Angela A.J. Seeley turned to her mother and said, "Mom, why didn't you marry a rock star? And Mom said, I did. His name is Charlie Seeley.
He's
anyway,
a rock star in the leather world.
This is the name of the program that she was on in 2010. It was Married to Rock, airing at 10:30 p.m. on Sundays back then. You can still find it somewhere online. Seeley she was married to, is it the Cult? The band The Cult? She was married to one of the guys from The Cult, Billy Duffy.
Okay.
And there was, this is the rock world in 2010, so scantily dressed, and she's beautiful. Have you seen Charlie's daughter?
I have not.
Here?
Is that a picture of her? Oh,
right
yes.
there. Look at that. She was really good on this show. And they would start to feature Charlie. And Charlie would go off on his anti-Hillary stuff.
This.
Andrew, you were too busy out doing Naked Intern. Because it was back during that time. It was 2010.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyway, she was a part of this show. And Charlie would be on every once in a while. He said, I think she's very entertaining, and she does a tremendous job. Charlie was all a part of this. Remember when he was doing the anti-Hillary stuff?
Well, that's what got him on the Tosh.0.
And that's when it went viral. Now, it was all right around the same time.
The infomercials.
That probably came a little earlier than this show.
Interesting.
But his daughter was married to a rock star.
Good for her.
And was on the show with Charlie. All real.
We have a ton of comments that we have to
Let's get to those comments. Before we do that, though, I want to comment about this. This week's new TV show. It's a real estate program called Sold in upstate New York. It is on TV tomorrow on WPNY, My TV, at 2 p.m. And then on Sunday, Boilermaker Sunday, it'll be on at 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. You can check it out. All about local real estate, tips and ideas when it comes to real estate. It's River Hills Properties, Bill and Robin Monjo. They do a great job. One of the things you're going to see, some beautiful homes that are for sale in our area and some beautiful homes that have sold. And then you might see, it's not just the beautiful homes. That's what I like about this. It'll show you something that's maybe, an investment property that needs work.
Yeah.
Or you have a couple that are on the show.
Yeah,
one that you just recently sold.
Will be just one that was recently sold, and also one that will be that just went up on the market in Cherrywood.
Did you do something in Cherrywood? That'll be on next week. Did you do something with Brandon Mosier too?
We partnered on one in Marcy.
So anyway, on this week's episode, I just want to give you an idea. Each week they do at River Hills, they do an agent of the week. Andrew, you were their agent of the week. They have like 35 listing agents. This week's agent of the week, you know who it is?
I don't.
Down the hallway.
Oh, Miss Polly.
Polly and Tad and Polly.
Tad and Polly.
Bill and Stacy McAdams is their real name. But that's what they go by.
Don't tell anyone.
That's what they go by, their real names when they're selling real estate, of course. Anyway, they're featured this week on the program. It'll be on YouTube later today. Check it out. Sold in upstate New York. And if you're looking to sell your home or you're looking to buy, River Hills Properties. Nobody sells homes like River Hills. Coming up, Andrew has a ton of comments. We're going to get to all of it when we return in moments, mere moments, on WIBX.
Go BOGO crazy at My Carl's. Buy one, get one half off. The combinations are endless. In stock, fast delivery, plus no credit needed financing. Go BOGO today only at My Carl's and the new Hartford Shopping Center.
Step into the magic of the 2024 Glimmerglass Festival, where summer comes alive with the finest in opera and musical theater.
The Glimmerglass Festival is a world-class summer celebration of the arts nestled on the banks of beautiful Otsego Lake, just minutes from Cooperstown, making it an easy day trip from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
This year's festival runs from July 22nd through August 20th and invites you to immerse yourself in myth, mystery, and adventure with productions that explore the connection between identity and illusion.
Classic opera lovers will enjoy Cavalli Italy's La Callisto, a hilarious caper full of mistaken identities, raunchy trysts, and celestial magic.
And contemporary opera fans will enjoy the modern masterpiece Elizabeth Cree, a highly suspenseful and theatrical opera that combines the factual with the fictive and the historical with the imaginary.
Limited seats are also still available for Pagliacci and the Pirates of Penzance. Visit glimmerglass.org to purchase tickets and to learn more about this year's festival.
The Glimmerglass Festival, a highlight of your summer experiences in the Cooperstown region and just a short drive from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in Central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Select's premium package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better.
You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge.
Oh, you people are wonderful.
Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to jabraenhance.com/radio. That's JABRA enhance.com/radio. jabraenhance.com/radio.
Are you ready to beat the heat and get fit? Hi, this is Lisa from Fit Body Bootcamp in Whitesboro and in Clinton. At Fit Body Bootcamp, the environment is cool and the workouts are hot. My team of rockstar certified coaches promise that you'll leave feeling sweaty. Nope, not because of the heat, but because of our invigorating workouts designed to provide you with unbelievable energy and strength. But how do you get started? Well, I'll make it real easy for you. All you need to do is call us at 315-725-3789 or find us on Facebook and sign up for 3 free sessions.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Go BOGO crazy at My Carl's. Buy one, get one half off. The combinations are endless. In stock, fast delivery, plus no credit needed financing. Go BOGO today, only at My Carl's and the new Hartford Shopping Center.
Hey, if you need flooring, let me just say this. Why would you go to a place that sells barbecue grills if you need flooring, right? I mean, just think about that for a second.
Yeah, that's a good point.
you go to a flooring store, you go to the expert. I mean, some people like to think, well, I'm going to go. I don't need an expert. You need the expert.
Yeah. You wouldn't have a mole removed by your dentist.
That's a very good point. The expert here is in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. They do flooring. Sal and his entire family and all the people over there, they do flooring. They're experts in flooring. And when it comes to Pergo Extreme and Mohawk, they have the guaranteed 60-mile radius of the store, the guaranteed price. They call it the 60-mile radius price guarantee. Did I get that right?
You did.
And I'm just here to tell you that that is just an amazing product. You will always get the best price at Sarah's. They also can offer you a $50 off coupon right on their website and 6 months interest-free financing, whether it's carpeting, vinyl flooring, hardwoods, the beautiful stuff. It doesn't, if it is flooring, you know they have the largest inventory anywhere. You know the place to go is in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, just down the street from us, River Road in Marcy.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
We have comments. We have many, many comments. I want to give you a few here. Andrew's got a bunch. Some are critical, some are nice, some are mean, some are stupid. I'm just saying.
Oh, emphasis on the stupid.
But I have some good ones here. This is Mike this morning on the Olympics. First Snoop Dogg, now Flava Flav for the Olympics.
Flav.
And Charlie Seeley is the Mike Lindell of leather.
That's awesome.
That is probably very
Good point.
true. He said, I also don't want to give up a spoiler here, but season 4 of The Bear reveals the bear opening a booth at the state fair.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's not true. I have more, but let me let you get yours in.
Easy and Ilian, Biden has been bad for years. That was a comment from yesterday.
My point of the thing is, whether you like him or you don't like him, as a human being, just think of this. Nobody wants to see, even if you don't consider him your quote-unquote president. I hate that. It should be whether it's Trump sitting there or it's Biden or it's Obama or it's George Bush, it's still your president. I don't care what party you belong to. This is America as a whole. America. It's how we should look at it. And in this case, nobody should be thrilled at what's going on right now. Biden has to step down. I don't think he can make it. He can't make the long haul. He can't finish the Boilermaker.
He can't take the long way home.
No. He can't run and drink at the same time.
Right. Or chew bubble gum and tie his shoes. Dave Scranton Inlet. Imodium is an anti-diarrheal, not an anti-diuretic. I made that mistake earlier. I misspoke. Forgive me.
Stupid.
What a loser I am. Cindy in Rome. It makes you wonder if Biden has a speaker in his ear correcting him when he makes mistakes.
That's so funny. I don't think so.
The timing, I guess, of his
I don't think so, but
realization.
I have a couple of theories on this. She's talking about the moment that she called Zelensky, or he called Zelensky. See, now if Biden did that, we'd be like, oh my God, he thought
He's losing it.
He thought she was a woman.
Oh my God.
But this is the time where he called Zelensky President Putin. This is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But as he's walking away, he said, well, wait a minute. I said Putin. He's going to beat Putin. I'm talking about President Zelensky. And then he introduced him. So, but now with all the focus on his mental abilities right now, his mental health right now, I think this is problematic. But two things. Number one, I was thinking, did he plan to do that and say, well, look, I caught it? And then he had a funny line, so people kind of chuckled. Did he do that on purpose? I don't think so.
No.
The other part was, I thought the same thing. Is there somebody in his ear said, you said Putin, you called him Putin.
Correct it.
And then he came back and corrected
Your campaign's on the line.
I don't think either one is true. I think he made the typical gaffe, as Senator Griffo was saying. He's so,
Gaff-filled.
The gaffes. But these are weird and worse. That debate performance, scary. Okay. So I'm kind of with her. I thought the same thing.
Dick in Deerfield, about the vice president, Andrew has mentioned more than once Kamala Harris is awful and terrible. What specifically is it about her that he thinks is so bad? We really don't have enough time in the program. But I'll just say...
I also think he brings up a very good point. We know very little about her.
Well, that's the point.
Except people...
And if you ever listen to her speak, and there's clips of it, I mean, it's like when I was in college and I had a 1,000-page or 1,000-word essay due, and I would find words to just fill... You know, that's a lot of the time.
One thing is for sure she did not do well.
And some of the stuff that she was tasked with, i.e. the border and other things.
Well, remember the border thing, she was just going to do what the administration wanted, to be fair. But to also be fair, her performance in the primaries was...
She couldn't win her own state.
Terrible.
And her polling numbers,
terrible.
Even though VP polling numbers are probably irrelevant, are great, or not great.
However, remember, this is all about not who you love, but who you hate, I'm telling you.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
See?
Lance and Lee finally has a number of comments. You can tell it's
Hello, Lance and Lee.
You can tell it's election season. Griffo is in name-dropping mode. And I think if we don't get to his comments right away, he likes to poke to try to get us upset.
Right. Well, he gets you upset.
Well, sometimes. Lately, he's been okay. And then he went on to say that wasn't Izzo's idea talking about your ARPA comment. It was the council that put safeguards on the ARPA money. Come on, Bill, get your facts straight.
That's not. Wait a minute. That's not true. Listen, Lance, here's the fact. This is truth, not your distorted, cloudy mind, Joe Biden, Lance. Listen, here's what happened. This is exactly what happened. Mayor Izzo at the time put out an entire platform of how to use the ARPA money. It then had to go to the council, and it was a push back and forth. That's how that was laid out. And what I'm saying is I feel that was the way to do it as a mayor and not to do it the way Palmieri did it, because you end up with skateboard parks, dog parks, and places where dogs go to do their business in an alleyway.
Or humans.
I just think that she did it in a better way than it was done in Utica. Lance, I'm right. You're wrong. Okay.
He says it's no wonder that no one from Rome comes
It's
on.
all the pills I'm taking, Tony.
It's no wonder that no one from Rome comes on your show anymore. You're all stuck.
First of all, that's not true. That's not
Joe
true.
Malachi, Anthony Pacenti.
Yeah. Sorry, Lance.
Griffo's technically from Rome.
And we continue to invite the current mayor, and he's always welcome to come in.
You're stuck in Izzo mode. Thank goodness she lost. Rome is much better off.
That's fine. You can have that opinion, but what I said is true. Whether you like her or what her plan was for the ARPA money, it was something that was put forward by the mayor and should have been done in Utica. And I can even go further to say there were council members who said Rome is doing it the wrong way. We should do it like Utica does it, where the council gets to decide where the money's spent. Yeah, look at that in hindsight.
Not great.
Think again. Yeah. All right. Lance,
That's it.
You apparently are drinking again, and I would immediately see a counselor. If the media would do their job, I wouldn't be doing what I do. This is John. We had a Ukraine military aircraft flying over East Coast U.S. airspace. The dollar is gone. America is in trouble. Biden is not running the country. It's currently being run by Obama. And President Trump will come back in to take over and save America. All right, John. Thank you. And Larry said there's no picture on YouTube. Larry, there is now. Anything further?
Yes,
Okay.
Doug in Utica, I give Biden a C- for last night's event. After spending a week immersed in foreign policy, he better have command of the facts, and that was just barely.
And I would only say a C-. That's all I would say it's further down.
Yeah, that's generous.
I think you're being generous with a C-. County executive is in right now, Tony Pacenti. Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll be with you. You did wear a different sport coat today. Yes, you did. Let me bring in Dave here. I think I've got your mic up. And good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
So I know we want to talk about the Herkimer Originals and the big basketball tournament that is coming up. That Boeheim's Army is not in this year. Can you believe that?
Very surprising.
Yeah.
Very surprising.
And they won what did they do with that $1 million they won? How about
you know,
some recruiting here? Anyway,
Yeah.
You guys are turning this in. So you play when? It's coming up in 2 weeks, right?
July 20th at 6 o'clock in Pittsburgh is our first game.
Against UConn. That's going to be a tough game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now,
Your reaction says it all.
This is an all-star team, right?
Yes.
That's going to be playing. But you're doing a lot of other things with the Herkimer Originals to bring kids in and that sort of thing. Plug away before we go to the county executive.
So tomorrow at noon, we're having a clinic for kids at the Herkimer Town Park. It's been redone, so we're excited about that to try to get out in the community and to show what the Herkimer Originals are all about.
Nice. And kids can come from all over, right? Obviously.
Yep, definitely.
And is there a charge?
Nope. And the more the merrier. We want to see a lot of kids out there. We want to teach them some things about basketball and get them interested.
Anything else you want to let people know about with the Herkimer Originals?
Well, it's a great organization. Obviously it's a part of the Herkimer 9 Foundation where, we've kind of done some research on Lambert Will and the creation of basketball. It's a very interesting story. If you haven't had a chance to look into it, it's shown that Herkimer is the home of basketball, and we're excited about that.
Is this being taught at SUNY Poly currently?
It is not. It is not. But maybe one day it will be.
Maybe one day it will be. You want to talk about anything up there?
Well, right now, it's kind of summertime. We're just trying to prepare for next year's athletics. We have a reconstruction project in our campus center gym for basketball, so we're going to be relocated for the year. But once it's done, hopefully next September, we're excited to see what this new facility is going to look like.
And I have to say, everybody's asking you officially, how tall are you?
I am 6'8", with sneakers on.
With sneakers. All right.
There you go.
I'm not even close with lifts. So it is what it is. All right. Again, that's this weekend for kids who want to learn more and have something to do, play some basketball.
Yes, definitely. Right. Come out and support, and I'll be there myself along with Josh Gregory, another local basketball player from Whitesboro High School, attended SUNY Poly and has been playing professional ball for the past couple of years. So come on out.
I believe the Chancellor, was it the Chancellor that was in?
Chancellor was in yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday, as a matter of fact. So
yes, he was.
Everybody was on their tip-top behavior, I'm assuming.
It was a great day.
It
was a great day. It was great to have him here.
Well, it's good to see there's investment here, right? There was a worry at one point that maybe they were forgetting about us here.
Absolutely.
We'll talk more with the county executive. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Quick break. We'll come right back. Into Boilermaker Weekend we go at WIBX.
Buy one, get one half off. I'm Bo going crazy. Now at My Carl's, when you buy one item, you get a second item for half off. Buy a sofa, get the mansion love seat half off. Buy a recliner, get a second recliner half off. The combinations are endless. Buy a mattress, get an adjustable base half off. Incredible. Plus no credit needed financing and fast delivery. So what are you waiting for? Get Bo going crazy. It's buy one, get one half off only at My Carl's.
Think about it. How prepared are you for the unexpected? Emergencies strike without warning, and we all know something big will be thrown at us soon. Being prepared makes all the difference. This means having a reliable food supply stored to use during tougher times. That's why at My Patriot Supply, we sell thousands of our 4-week emergency food kits every week. Each kit is packed with delicious, easy-to-prepare meals that provide over 2,000 calories per day. These kits are designed to stand by for up to 25 years, ready to use when you need them most. This week, save $50 on every 4-week emergency food kit you need. Simply go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure one for each family member. That's $50 off every 4-week emergency food kit. Order by 3 p.m. and your kit's shipped that same day. It's better to have emergency food than to need it and not have it. Shop mypatriotsupply.com. mypatriotsupply.com.
Longing for thick, healthy, gorgeous hair? Hair Volume from New Nordic is trusted by millions of women around the world. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding thin and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Only we have the Mattress Express brand name low price guarantee. If you purchase a mattress from us and see it advertised cheaper locally in the next 30 days, we simply refund the difference. Don't overpay for your next mattress. Come to Mattress Express.
Are you ready to beat the heat and get fit? Hi, this is Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and in Clinton. At Fit Body Boot Camp, the environment is cool and the workouts are hot. My team of Rockstar certified coaches promise that you'll leave feeling sweaty. Nope, not because of the heat, but because of our invigorating workouts designed to provide you with unbelievable energy and strength. But how do you get started? Well, I'll make it real easy for you. All you need to do is call us at 315-725-3789 or find us on Facebook and sign up for 3 free sessions.
Go BOGO crazy at My Carl's. Buy one, get one half off. The combinations are endless. In stock, fast delivery, plus no credit needed financing. Go BOGO today only at My Carl's and the new Hartford Shopping Center.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to hit your time. I'm almost promising it. What is that, 57? That gives me all the time in the world.
I know. Well,
Andrew.
Just so you know.
In
just
studio.
So everybody's aware.
All right. Can you put Tony in the right place? Because he's currently coming this way a little bit, this way a little bit. Boom, right there. Yeah.
Right down.
I want Lance.
guy.
I want Lance and Lee to be able to really get a good view of you.
He's complimentary of it.
He is of Tony?
Usually.
Well,
usually of the Oneida County Department
I am
of Public
still
Works.
trying to figure out who Lance and Lee really is.
Do you care?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
He did say, I was hoping you could figure out what that I was talking about City of Rome politicians, not your two buddies. I'll be more specific next time.
Okay, listen, moron. Let me explain something
Joe
to you.
Malachi came in.
Let me explain something to you. I've heard nothing but good out of people from Rome, and actually, it's Tony. You've talked about it as well.
Yes,
I've heard nothing but good out of people from Rome who have been working with the new mayor.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a good job.
Listen, it's really, really simple. First of all, I want to separate the two. With Jackie Izzo, I really sincerely, and I know, Tony, you feel the same way, I really think the world of Jackie.
Yeah.
I've worked with her for over it's over 10 years. Has it been that long? And I really, really like her, and I like the way that she has, the way that she handled herself as mayor. Do I know the ins and outs of what actually, this, that, the other thing that goes on in Rome? I don't. I just know how I feel the way that she was able to govern as mayor. I also have a business where I am hired by candidates. I worked on Tony's campaign. Mm-hmm. I worked working on Joe Griffo's and Brian Miller's campaign. I worked for Claudia Tenney in the early days when she was in the assembly, and I worked for Jackie Izzo. So the reality is that part isn't personal. It really is not personal. I don't sit here and surmise how I'm going to be able to bring someone in and make a fool of them and ambush them. And once somebody wins, they're now the mayor. I consider Rome now has a new mayor. I'm not hanging on to the past. But to be fair, I do think the ARPA money was handled better in Rome than it was handled in Utica. And that's just an opinion. Lance doesn't have to get all up. Sounds like the person who can't let things go is Lance and Lee.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And he can't even use his real name.
Yeah.
So let's be honest, Lance. That's not your name, but I say that to humor you.
Well, and it's For all intents and purposes, people are very happy with Mayor Lanigan. He was big with the Revere sign lighting. That was a huge success, the July 4th weekend, and everybody was very excited.
People who live in Rome, I hear great things. People who are working with the mayor in Rome, I hear great things. We want Rome to succeed.
We'd like to have him on, but he won't come on.
Yeah,
so.
the bottom line is with everything, it's like you want. I mean, do you want people to fail? We don't. I mean, no matter what.
I do not.
And things change, and elections change things. There's only one outcome, or two outcomes. Excuse me.
One's going to win, one's going to lose.
Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose.
It's not
at
like
the end of the day, it starts over. It starts,
and it has you were close with Joe. We all were
absolutely,
close.
And absolutely.
That doesn't change the fact that Rome now has a new mayor.
But that doesn't change the fact that I won't work with them, and will not want to see that succeed. I mean, it's about the betterment of everything. It's like the country, though. I mean, it's the whole presidential thing. It's
you're either with them or you're against them.
Well, yeah, do we want them to? I mean, I think the whole Biden thing is really a good lesson in politics. Is like, what do we want here, though?
Right, because he is representing the country.
What I'm more what I'm more concerned about is everybody, the discussion and the rhetoric has been all about the election. I'm worried about right now. I'm worried about the guy that's sitting in there.
We should be, yes.
And what his decision making process is there. I could. It's not that I don't care about the election, and before anybody says
I know exactly where you're going.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is everybody's focused on, we got to get him out as a candidate. It's like, wait a minute.
If he can't perform as a
candidate, this is the guy you want running the country too, and slipping on this stuff. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, and really, why is I worry about, the 8 o'clock story of 8 or 9 o'clock or whatever time.
I never said that.
I think I forgot who it was that had the ad years ago that
it was
at 3 a.m.
Yeah, that was a.
Who do you want answering the phone or whatever?
Yeah, that was an early ad in the 60s.
Yeah, I think it was.
Late in the 60s, but then I think Reagan used it.
Yeah, it came up again. Yeah. I think Clinton used it too at one point.
I think so.
Or one of them. But it's like, who do you want?
Who's going to answer that phone?
Who's going to answer that phone at 3 a.m?
And I don't think Joe is, President Biden is waking up at that time.
And so I guess, that's the other concern here.
I'm with you. Because if you can't be the candidate, how can you still be the president? Thankfully, we live in a country, it's a republic. We have a government, we have a base. One man or woman is not running the country, even though we may think. And luckily,
no one does it alone. And obviously, you got the Joint Chiefs, and you've got Joint Chiefs of Staff. You've got the cabinet.
That can allow you to feel at ease a little bit.
It does.
Yeah. However, I think it's
somebody
a great question.
Somebody still has to call the shot at the end.
Yeah. And I do not know how they can go forward. I just don't know. Maybe Lance and Lee could be president. He knows everything.
Well, Steve Houck has the interesting theory that Lance and Lee is Jeff Manaske. He's sitting back. He's sitting back laughing all morning at Bill getting angry.
Let me say that Jeff would have the guts to actually use his real name.
Yeah,
we know Jeff too well for that. All right,
there's a lot we have to cover in only 7 minutes.
Okay, do you have the list of things?
Yes, I do.
All
the
right.
first being
then you
finally,
start. Yeah.
The garage.
Eureka.
It's coming up. Opening
day, Monday.
It is Monday?
July 15th. July 15th, we will open up for it. It is
right. It's a soft opening.
The employees.
Okay.
We want to settle the.
They deserve it.
Well, they deserve it, and it's a matter of the whole process that goes on with the shuttling and moving around in different parking lots and the like, and that'll help us and help really us and MVHS, settle the just organize the whole parking situation downtown and the like. So let's get them in there.
Well, and this has been a major inconvenience for employees.
It has, and so. I wanted to, this is what we had planned, from over the last several months as we were getting closer, how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
And I said, look, let's do this way. Let's not have everybody going in day one and there's confusion or whatever, because there are separate entrances, separate levels, and separate things that people have to get accustomed to. And so that'll give us time to, by the middle of the week of next week, to roll out, a map, more discussion about if you're a visitor to the hospital or you want to use the garage as a public patron, this is the way in and out, et cetera. So
is there a charge for employees to park?
There is not.
Is there a charge for people to park?
Not if they are. There is not. Through as visitors of the hospital or as patients of the hospital.
Okay.
In that regard.
It is interesting.
We will do something on the public side for.
So will that be validation for visitors?
Validation.
Yeah. Okay.
Validation. So they go through the card system. For anybody else using the garage, we have figured out a 2-hour, first 2 hours free, and then there'll be a scale after.
Okay,
that.
so if you want to go across to
and part of
the yard,
right? And the reason we're doing that, and people will probably ask, well, you got to pay for this garage. Well, part of the reason is because we don't want people parking there all day for free and holding up the ability of other people that.
A lot of the
hospital or people that need it.
You see that in places where there are parking meters.
Right.
A lot of times it's for the businesses who don't want people just staying there all day long.
And it is it does have the public component to it, but again, we want to make sure that the hospital is accommodated and for those visitors and those patients that are going.
I could be wrong. I think I'm correct with this. I've been making several trips out to Roswell and Buffalo. And we stay, there's a hotel that's connected to the hospital, which is a really a very unique idea, especially for that. It's a cancer hospital that does research. Families are there. Having that hotel, there's a tunnel that goes right into the lobby, which is very convenient, I'm assuming in the winter as well. But when we drove out, we did a one-day trip where we just drove out, did my exam, and then came home. We parked in the garage. Fridays, apparently, at Roswell, it's $4 parking day. So it's $4 no matter what.
No matter what.
But I was standing in front of or behind an employee who I believe was a nurse. She had a badge, and she said, "Oh, it's really cool. Today it's $4 parking." That's telling me their nursing staff and
paying for it as well.
Their staff has to pay for parking.
That's interesting.
That's
interesting. Well, that was a decision that was made, prior to, at the very beginning of this process.
I think it's probably a very great way to start.
It is.
Yeah.
And it is. And so then on the 20th, which would be the Saturday, we will it will be open for the public at that time.
Okay. All right. So it'll give you 5 days to kind of.
And there's the other. It really, if you haven't gone by it, I know that initially a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's ugly." It's
not
really
ugly.
Came together really nicely.
It
some of the signage is
the
still.
neighborhood.
We still don't have all of the signage on it, and some other little tweaks are going to take place over the next couple months. But
I did wonder putting it out right in front, and that was one of the things that Mayor Palmieri wanted. I think the garage to be on the other side or something different. And in the beginning, when you were just looking at steel. But now you're looking at the facade. It matches the hospital.
But the other thing about the parking garage, about the location of it, was accessibility too, because of Oriskany Boulevard, because of State Street. That aligns it, and just the in and outs of the facility too. The way the hospital was designed, so that when you park in where it is for the emergency room, you walk into the.
You walk in,
room, so that you're not
walking all over. It's a big building.
Especially for emergency was number one, obviously, when you talk about trauma and everything that's happening, and whether it's the ambulance that have to go in there with people, but the family members that have to follow someone in there, or if they're bringing someone in themselves to the emergency room, that's what made the access points of the garage the way they were. And then the general the general entranceway that is covered, that is heated, that is walkway, so you go from the garage into the hospital without getting wet in that regard.
Well, that'll be that's a big. It's gonna be a big plus. Does the front entrance open now? That front.
It will be. Cornelia Street will now be. Once everything is buttoned up over the next few days, and the access to the public, that'll open up Cornelia.
Andrew, next topic.
Lot with youth in the county that you've done this week.
A lot. Yeah, great deal. We kicked off our summer youth employment program, which we do every year, but we did something different this year, and it had been planned months in advance. And it was really, it's the one time we have that captive audience aside from schools, which, is always difficult because of the number of schools in the county and getting to them, and whatever. But this summer program, which has been very successful over the years, we felt we had a captive audience. Let's do something more than just, okay, it's your first job. This is what you're going to do today. And you're going to go to your work site and you got to be on time in this. And so we did a day, and we had planned this, like I said, months in advance. It wasn't based on what recently happened, about youth violence, about things that are happening in your community, about making the right decisions, in your life, and how it relates to your future, whether you're in school or whether you're going into the workplace, and what that's going to mean as a teenager going through and not making bad decisions that will impact your ability to go to college or to get a job. There's
a very good chance that these kids that are working these county jobs are the county leaders of tomorrow.
They are, and we had over 400 students of differing ages in the teens there. And so we felt, we had that captive audience. Let's do more than just orientation of the job.
Yeah.
Let's do a couple panels with, people from various agencies and law enforcement and other areas to talk about youth violence, to talk about substance use, to talk about the things that are impacting our young people today. And it came on the heels of what we saw happen in the last couple of weeks, and I thought it was fitting that we were able to do that. And we'll do that again. The other point is, as this summer, we go through the summer, and before they walk out and go back to school, we want to do something again with them.
What do you have?
Well, no, that's it. Okay. Just recently though, Utica police arrested 6 people under the age of 21, and related to shots fired and a stolen vehicle, and I just think the youth violence is really tough.
And in my State of the County, I talked about putting together a 4-year plan, with significant money behind it. We will be unveiling some of those in the next couple of weeks, and we've been working on that all along, working with various partners in the community and with the Community Foundation and some others. And so we'll be outlining some of that. We've got more to do, and we've got to keep our foot on the gas here.
This occurrence, this shooting with police and a youth in Utica was really, you just kind of felt like something horrible was going to happen with everything that's been going on. You just, at some point,
you hate to say it's inevitable.
It felt that way, though.
In any sense of crime or shootings, but
there has to be a buy-in with. It cannot just be government.
No,
it must be community and government. Government cannot do this alone.
No,
there's got to be a change in that neighborhood where kids running around with guns at night.
Yeah,
it's frowned upon and disallowed.
It is, and it shows where we've gone and as a society, and it's not, we always say this, and you've read about it, and whether it's in Oregon, whether it's in Nevada, whether it's in California, whether it's in Texas, wherever it is. I mean, it happens every day, but and inevitable that something
sadly
will happen.
Yeah,
sadly something will happen,
and we're not by any means making a blanket assessment on what happened there. However, there is all this youth violence, and the only way that we're really going to solve this is with a complete buy-in by everybody. I'm almost out of time, but
it's okay. Yeah, look, we talked about this. You and I think, talked about it before too. When we were
literally
13,
5 seconds.
13,
it's going to cut us off in 5 seconds. We're out of time. I'm sorry.
Have a great Boilermaker weekend.
Thank you.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
It was better than the debate. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Biden takes questions for about an hour at a solo news conference in D.C. with one early gaffe.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president. I think she's not qualified to be president.
But he says he's staying in the race unless someone proves to him he can't beat Donald Trump in November. He says he's been putting himself out there since his poor debate performance.
Where's Trump been? Riding around in his golf cart, filling out his scorecard before he hits the ball? I mean, look, he's done virtually nothing.
The news conference was at the end of a NATO summit, and there were foreign policy questions where the president showed command of the facts. But last night, more Democrats in Congress, it's 18 now, say publicly he should drop out of the race. President Biden holds a campaign event in Michigan today. The Republican convention starts Monday in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal on some of the people who will and won't be there.
Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is scheduled to speak, as is the mother of a woman murdered by an undocumented migrant. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is scheduled to speak, but Nikki Haley is not. She said she was not invited to the RNC, even after releasing her delegates. Her spokesman says it's up to former President Trump, who he wants at the convention. But Fox News Radio's Brian Kilmeade asked the former president if she might be invited.
You know, there was a lot of bad blood there. She stayed too long. She was being soundly defeated at every place, but she just wouldn't leave.
Kilmeade asked if she might help him with moderate voters, and the former president said no, because they will not end up going for President Biden. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
A new read on inflation just out. Inflation at the wholesale level coming in